A neon sign with the Red Lee Hotel illuminates the long street. The swaying neon lights and stream of cars blend to form a picture of extravagance and wealth. A watchman carrying a kerosene lamp is on patrol. He seems to be blinded by the charming light and stops at the entrance of an alley.
이 사장님이 실종되신 지 2주 정도 됐나? 정말 안타까워. 좋으신 분인데.
Deep within the alley where the light doesn't shine, a pair of leather shoes step on the cobblestone, walking into the long night.
거기 누구예요? 당장 나와요.
The watchman grows nervous, calling out into the darkness with a slight tremble to his voice. Whether it's the sound of footsteps or something being hit, the noise echoes in the darkness.
누구예요? 꼼짝 말아요. 다 봤으니까.
A chill runs down the watchman's spine as a cold hand clamps firmly around his throat.
당신 어떻게 이럴 수가? 이미 죽은 줄 알았는데. 양 대장님이
The night watchman slumps to the ground, his mouth open in despair. The kerosene lamp falls to the ground, sparks flying in every direction. The night wind blows through the alley, shaking the lamp slightly, like an eye peering into the frigid darkness.
고성의 평원에 풍운이 일고 별과 달이 하늘에 안막을 들이옵니다. 허주 마을에는 오랜 사건들이 묻혀 있고 새로운 근심들이 정처 없이 떠돌고 있습니다. 운주 관광지구의 신규 테마존 허주의 자취가 곧 개장됩니다. 이가 호텔을 둘러싼 비밀을 밝혀주실 여러분을 기다리고 있습니다.
At West Headquarter Meeting Room. Oh, Cloudland Park come up with another theme experience? During the break after the daily NTX meeting, you casually scroll on your phone and come across a video. During the holiday season, tourist attractions have once again become the focus of attention. With the number of searches ever rising, the Big Data Lab has suggested the new Cloudland Park promotional video to you. It looks like it's a mystery game this time.
출입뿐 아니라 라이브 탐정 이벤트도 있대요.
A live action detective event. Before you can react, Maris is already sitting at the table introducing the experience.
네, 스토리에 맞게 역할을 맡아서 실제로 재현해 놓은 범죄 현장에 들어가 추리하고 수수께끼를 푸는 게임이에요. 일반적으로 실내 공간에서 진행하는데 이번은 달라요.
At this point, Maris pauses deliberately to keep everyone in suspense.
이번에는 새로 지은 테마존 전체를 이벤트 장소로 사용한다고 들었어요. 마음껏 탐색도 가능하고 새로운 테마존의 매력에 빠지게 될 거라고 하더라고요. 차원이 다른 현실감이래요.
A whole district to explore? That does sound like fun. But Maris, how do you know so much about it? Did Pax invest in this project? Maris winks at you, smiling meaningfully.
관심 있어요, 누나? 나한테 사전 초대장이 있거든요.
Looks like I was right.
네, 관심이 있어요.
술이랑 수수께끼? 저도 갈래요.
Without waiting for your answer, Vin and Luke, who hadn't left after the meeting, also joined the conversation with great interest.
두 사람한테 물어본 거 아닌데요.
굳이 회의실에서 서게 하길래 다 같이 가고 싶은 건 줄 알았는데요.
On the other side of the long table, Artem turns off the computer screen and walks over as well.
후회되네요. 회의실에서 얘기를 꺼내는 게 아니었는데. 다음에는 아무도 없을 때 얘기해야겠어요.
일단 다음에도 안 그럴 거라는 보장은 없어요. 그리고
운주관광지구가 새로운 테마전을 홍보하기 위해 여러 광고를 게재했어요. 유신우 씨가 말하지 않았어도 다른 경로를 통해 알게 되었을 겁니다.
언제부터 둘이 찰떡궁합팀이 된 거예요?
Seeing the perplexed hesitation on his face, you quickly interrupt. For an experience like a live-action detective game, I believe we'll have to team up. It wouldn't be a bad idea if we all go together, right?
네 말이 맞아. 검색해봤는데 사전 체험을 하려면 5명이 팀을 꾸려서 가야 한대. 우리랑 안 가면 누구랑 갈 생각이었죠?
그런 것까지 찾아봤어요?
당연하죠. 그게 제 일이니까요.
강혁 씨, 요즘은 일이 별로 안 바쁜가 보네요? 이런 거 찾아볼 시간도 있는 거 보니까.
이런 건 정보가 빠르다고 하는 거예요.
그러니까 이변이 없는 한 이번에도 다 같이 가는 거죠?
그런 것 같네요.
치, 원래 이럴 땐 누군가가 나서서 이변이 생길 거예요 라고 말해줘야 하는데.
It's just a sim experience, right? Nothing can go wrong. Well, we'll figure it out even if something does go wrong. As soon as you see that, everyone's gaze lean on Marius almost simultaneously.
좋아요. 내가 있으니 별일 없을 거예요.
Marius takes out his phone to show everyone that he is sending a message to someone. At this moment, he doesn't seem reluctant at all. Even the depths of his eyes are glimmering with joy. It doesn't seem like he was forced to invite the whole team. Did he plan for everyone to go but chose not to say so? Zhuxiao Town Scenic Area. Soon Marius arranges for everyone to participate in the live-action game and added it to the calendar. Since this event is early access only, you are the only group in the entire newly built theme district. Following the cobblestone road, you all soon enter the Lee Hotel and are divided into different lounges for preparation. Lee Hotel. After changing your makeup and putting up your outfit, you thank the staff who helped you with the makeover and walk out of the preparation room. You now have some time to take a good look around the hotel. Compared to what I saw the last time, this place looks completely different now. The decor has a completely vintage vibe from the interiors to the furnishings. You heard that this scene was modeled after a real place striving to replicate the Zhuqiao town in the story for visitors.
사장님, 왜 거기 서서 멍 때리고 계신 거죠?
You hear a sentence you don't quite understand, spoken in a familiar voice. Huh? Damn. You look out to see not only Marius, but the other three as well on the long staircase leading from the first floor to the second floor of the lobby. They, just like you, have changed into their theme outfits. They look elegant, handsome, and graceful. It feels as though a group of people from an old photograph have come to life and are walking towards you.
사장님, 전 사장님의 50번째 생신 연회는 잘 준비하고 계신 건가요?
언제쯤 연회장에 들어갈 수 있는 거죠? 사진을 좀 찍고 싶단 말이에요.
기자님, 손님들이 아직 다 도착하지도 않았는데 뭐가 그렇게 급하신가요? 사장님께는 준비 시간이 필요하다고요.
What?
사장님, 왜 멍하니 계세요? 오늘 막 호텔을 넘겨받아서 아직 적응이 안 되신 건가요?
Feeling puzzled, you notice Luke winking at you.
미리 연습하고 있는 거야. 체험 규칙이 바로 직원이 배정해준 캐릭터를 연기하는 거잖아?
We're starting already? Looks like they had already settled into their characters while you were getting changed. It looks like you are the only one out of place.
일단 연습을 좀 해보고 있었어요.
전 복잡한 캐릭터가 아니라 비교적 빨리 적응했어요.
제 캐릭터도 별로 어렵지 않은 것 같아요. 그리고 본업이랑도 어느 정도 연관이 있고요. 미리 계획되어 있던 건 아니겠죠?
가능성이 없진 않아요. 제 캐릭터는
잠깐, 이거 억울해요. 제 명예를 걸고 약속하는데 역할은 다 랜덤 배정이에요. 미리 손 써둔 거 절대 아니라고요. 그리고 캐릭터 정보 같은 단서는 정식으로 시작한 후에 의논하는 게 좋을 것 같네요.
Maris interrupts everyone as if he is already familiar with the rules of the game. Okay, let me ask you a different question. Where's my character information? I don't remember being told anything. Don't tell me I got an unscripted character.
캐릭터 카드 못 받았어? 준비실에 의상 말고 다른 아이템들도 있었던 것 같은데?
Items. Right, the purse. You remember the purse the staff handed to you while you were in the preparation room. The purse that matches your chip out is weighted, and it seems like there is something in it. I was so focused on changing into my outfit that I forgot to check out the items. You quickly look down inside the purse. Sure enough, there are many items inside the purse. In addition to your character card, there are other task items. Today is your first day on the job. Everyone at the hotel calls you Little Boss. After checking the contents of the purse one by one, you can't help but sigh. It feels like there will be a lot of puzzles along the way. It's going to be complicated.
그래야 또 도전하는 재미가 있지.
어때요, 사장님? 준비되셨나요?
The eager expression in Mary's eyes becomes more pronounced. Thinking about the expectant expression on his face before you all enter the team district, you have a bold speculation. Ready. By the way, will there be anything in this event that you personally designed, Mr. Von Hagen?
오해 말아요. 설계에는 참여하지 않았으니까요. 그냥 인테리어랑 스타일링에 의견을 좀 냈을 뿐이에요. 이벤트 현장의 절차에 대해서는 아무것도 모른다고요.
어쨌든 어느 정도 참여는 했다는 거네요.
이번 이벤트는 우발적인 게 아니라 계획적인 것 같은데요.
That makes sense.
사장님, 여기 계셨군요.
While everyone is talking, a young man dressed as an attendant suddenly rushes over, waving at you.
전 사장님의 생신 연회는 5시 정각에 시작될 예정입니다. 손님들이 벌써 입장하고 계십니다. 로비에서 사장님이 하객 리스트를 확인해 주시기를 기다리고 있습니다.
Wow, is that guy a professional actor? Listening to his rapid-fire speech, you are stunned for a few seconds before you remember your identity. It seems that from this moment on, the live-action detective game has officially begun. At this moment, you are the new owner who will take over this hotel. It's almost time. Well, I better get to it. I wouldn't be able to face Boss Jian if the preparations weren't completed on time. The attendant accepts with a smile and turns to look at the others.
저분들도 연회에 참가하러 오신 손님분들이신가요?
그걸 질문이라고 합니까? 내가 누군지 몰라요? 난 허주마을 상사의 회장이라고요. 전 사장이 직접 초대해서 온 겁니다. 잘 봐요. 이게 바로 그 초대장이에요.
Marius then takes out a red invitation from his pocket and tosses it at the attendant.
유 회장님이셨군요. 이렇게 직접 와주시다니 영광입니다. 제가 몰라 뵀네요. 어서 이쪽으로 오시죠.
이제야 좀 눈치가 있네.
Marius has a natural gift for acting.
안녕하세요. 전 허주 신문사의 기자 강혁입니다. 다들 절 강 기자라고 부르죠.
Then Luke takes out something like a certificate to show everyone.
전 형성 무역회사 직원들에게 인사도 하고 현장도 취재할 겸 왔습니다. 우리 허주마을 최고의 자선가 전 사장님의 50세 생신 연회이니 어떻게든 와서 소식을 전해야죠.
아, 들어본 적이 있는 것 같네요. 형성무역회사의 단 매니저님과 함께 촬영하러 오신 분 맞으시죠?
Luke nods repeatedly, pretending to be a low-key and humble journalist.
그럼 이따가 절 따라오셔서 가장자리에 서 계시면 됩니다. 절대 손님들을 방해해서는 안 됩니다. 아시겠죠?
네, 알겠습니다.
As for the other guests, may I ask? Looking at Marius and Luke's super performance, you slowly get into character as well.
전 형성무역회사의 금융고문인 백은우입니다.
이런 우연이. 저도 형성무역회사의 사람이라고 할 수 있는데 말이죠.
하지만 전에 뵌 적은 없는 것 같은데요.
저는 윤노아입니다. 허주대학교에서 근무하고 있고 외국어도 조금 할 줄 알죠. 이번 연회에 외국 손님들이 많이 오실 예정이라 전 사장님께서 통역을 맡기고 싶다고 절 부르셨습니다. 만나서 반갑네요. 백고문.
그렇군요. 오늘 중요한 외국 손님들이 많이 오시긴 했죠. 윤 통역사가 수고 좀 해주셔야겠어요.
Vin and Artem engage in a simple conversation to confirm each other's identity. The attendant immediately smiles and ushers everyone into the lobby.
단 매니저님이 아까부터 로비에서 두 분을 기다리고 계십니다. 어서 가시죠.
Lee Hotel lobby. Following the attendant into the lobby, you can see at a glance that there are many people gathered inside. Most of them don't really react to your group's entrance and carry on with their conversations. However, the main table is still vacant and there seems to be no sign of the birthday banquet starting soon. Which one of them is Boss John? Could it be...
어? 메인 테이블이 아직 비어 있는데? 아직 안 온 건가요? 그 늙은이 자기 생일 연회인데 관심도 없나 보죠?
곧 도착하실 겁니다.
아무래도 사람을 시켜서 모셔와야 할 것 같은데요. 시간이 너무 지체되면 안 되니까요.
사장님, 직접 가서 확인해 주시겠어요?
Of course, Before you can finish, a middle-aged man in a suit fumbles into the lobby.
큰일 났습니다.
He has a frightened look on his face, as if he'd just witnessed something horrifying.
단 매니저님, 왜 그러십니까?
사고예요. 큰일 났어요. 전 사장님이
전 사장님이 어떻게 됐다는 거죠?
Manager Duan trembles as he points upstairs.
돌아가셨습니다. 전 사장님이 돌아가셨어요.
Looking in the direction he pointed at, you see a long staircase leading to the second floor. The long staircase stretches upward and winding as if there is no end to it and leading to a bewildering unknown. What's the sound? Is that an old television? Along with the sound of static, on the other side of the long staircase is a dimly lit room with a lit screen. It seems to be a deliberate cue. It reminds you all that the accident has happened and the unknown is waiting to be explored. What happened to there being no accidents this time? Then again, I guess a Stitch accident is hardly an accident. For some reason, you have a distinct feeling in your heart. This is the moment when the live-action detective game truly begins. Zuzu tells one banquet of misfortune. Static crackles and a choppy male voice can be heard. You immediately think the sound is coming from the old television. Welcome to the Lee Hotel. I am your host, but you can refer to me as the mysterious person. Mysterious person? This new character's name is pretty unique. Before you can give it more thought, the man's voice grows playful. Don't say I never reminded you. Here's a little hint. In this phase, pay extra mind to the following areas. Once all the puzzles have been solved, maybe I'll give you some information regarding the keys. Do your best. The mysteries of Zhu Zhao awaits. All the puzzles. This sounds like an important mission. He said that he'll tell us information regarding the case if we solve the puzzles. I guess that's the reward for completing the task. By the time the thought settles into your mind, the sound of static has already disappeared. Only silence remains. Lee Hotel lobby.
전 사장님이 돌아가셨어요. 돌아가셨다고요. 세상에, 이걸 어쩌면 좋아.
Manager Duan's face is as pale as a ghost, and he repeats his statements incoherently. His eyes are filled with fear, which chills the atmosphere in the lobby.
도대체 뭘 보신 거죠? 천천히 말해보세요.
Artem's low voice is effective at stopping Manager Duan's exaggerated crying. He freezes for a moment.
똑바로 말씀해 보세요. 도대체 무슨 일이 벌어진 겁니까?
Manager Duan shivers and he chokes on his words.
연애가 시작되었는데도 방에서 안 나오시길래 혹시 주무시나 해서. 노크하고 전 사장님께 시간이 다 됐다고 말씀드렸어요. 그런데 아무리 불러도 대답이 없었어요.
그래서 직원을 시켜서 문을 연 건가요?
네. 프런트에 가서 비상용 열쇠를 가지고 온 뒤에 문을 열었는데 방에 전 사장님이 쓰러져 계셨어요. 온몸에 피가 묻은 채로요.
세상에, 시운설 생신 당일에 이런 일이 벌어지다니.
그러니까요. 이걸 어쩌면 좋아요?
어서 경찰에 신고해요. 누가 이런 짓을 벌인 건지. 세상에나.
어떻게 해야 하죠? 이걸...
The surrounding gas laments and the background music from by the noisy discussion cast a darker shadow on the scene.
온몸에 피가 묻어 있었다고요? 그럼 살인 사건인가?
늙은이가 나쁜 짓을 해서 벌 받은 건 아니겠지?
그게 무슨 말씀이시죠? 허주 마을에 전 사장님이 선한 분이란 걸 모르는 사람은 없다고요.
그래요? 난 모르겠는데요.
유 회장님, 전 사장님과 원한 관계였다 하더라도 없는 누명을 씌우시는 건 안 되죠.
President Van Hagen has a personal grudge against Bonstian?
유 회장님, 지금은 그런 것들을 따질 때가 아닙니다.
Artem glances at Marius, taking in the initiative to stand between him and Manager One.
맞아요. 지금 제일 중요한 건 이 일을 어떻게 처리할 거고 전 사장님의 죽음이 어떤 파장을 가져올 건지를 생각해야 합니다.
세상에, 망했다. 생일 연에 이런 일이 벌어지다니.
By this point, Manager One is overcome with grief and unable to hear anything that Vin says. Vin shakes his head, turning to look at you.
사장님은 어떻게 생각하시나요?
Realistically speaking, the usual process is to first call the police, then wait for the investigation results. Did you call the police?
신고는 이미 했습니다. 그런데 허주 경찰서 사람들이 허주마을 교회에 큰 사건이 벌어져서 현재 인원이 모자란 상태라네요. 일단 일부 인원만 보낼 예정이라고 합니다. 근데 그마저도 언제 도착할 수 있을지 모르는 상태고요.
I suspected you can't follow normal procedures here.
뭐라고요? 경찰이 안 오면 우리 전 사장님은 어떻게 하라고요? 우리 형성무역회사가 그렇게 호락호락할 것 같나요?
아이고, 이게 무슨 일이야? 생일에 이런 일을 겪다니.
이제 어떡하죠? 여길 나갈 수나 있는 건가요?
이렇게 불길한 일이 벌어졌는데 어서 가야죠.
잠시만요. 전 사장님 사건이 아직 일단락되지 않았으니 잠시 기다려주시기 바랍니다.
가지 말라고요? 그럼 설마 사람이 죽은 호텔에서 묵으란 말인가요?
안 돼요. 내일 미팅이 있어서 여기에 머무를 수는 없어요.
The banquet hall fills with incessant whispers again as guests object to staying at the hotel for the night. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain calm. Since the situation is unclear, it will be safer for you to stay. What if the murderer is hanging around near the hotel? What would happen if you run into the murderer on the way home?
아, 그것도 맞네요.
그럼 어떡하죠?
여러분, 경찰이 바로 출동할 수 없다고 하니 다 같이 올라가 보는 건 어떨까요? 전 기자입니다. 현장을 기록해서 공정하고 객관적인 보도를 하겠다고 약속하겠습니다. 어떠신가요?
강 기자님의 의견도 나쁘지 않은 것 같네요.
맞아요.
어차피 호텔에서 경찰을 기다려야 하니 그냥 다 같이 올라가서 상황을 보자. 어쩌면 경찰이 오기 전에 뭔가를 발견할 수도 있겠네요.
Marius echoes what Vin and Artem said, but in reality, he seems to be looking at you, observing your reaction. You know that it's a game, but when people look at you like that, it pulls you back to countless similar real-life situations. No matter the time, no matter the identity, it seems that you are all destined to accomplish something together, to uncover some unresolved mystery. Well then, let's go together. Everyone can be a witness. Finalist Pierce, can you tell me about your work at the news agency? Of course, what would you like to know? Let me think. Oh, why don't you tell me about some interesting news? Or maybe something memorable you experienced at work? Well, although there are many things worth remembering, the ones that made the biggest impression on me was when I was still a junior reporter, there was something I had to do every day. I had to go and organize the old news documents in the file room. One day, as I was going through the files, I came across a report from many years ago. It said that a pilot sacrificed his life to save one of his own. He died without telling the person he loved how he felt. That sounds so sad. Yeah, and for some reason, the report gave me a very odd sense of deja vu. If I wasn't a firm believer in materialism, I might actually believe that pilot was another version of me. That does sound pretty interesting. But now that he mentions it, this story sounds familiar to me too. Could it be that there really is another me in this world? Little boss, can I talk to you for a second? Of course, what's the matter? Well, I was thinking, with something so big taking place, the Lee Hotel's business is going to be affected for quite a while. Maybe you should do a little promotion to restore the hotel's name after everything's been taken care of. You do make a good point, Journalist Pierce. This isn't just any ordinary case. The customers that come and stay here might also care about what has happened. But what should I do? Well, maybe you should consider putting in an ad in our newspaper, Jijuan News, and promoting yourself a bit. I can write the drafts for you, and the price is negotiable. Okay, that sounds a great idea. Let me think about it. Thanks, General Spears. No problem. I'm sure we came across each other for a reason. Just see this as a little something from me. Photo half left, an old yellow photo with a child's doodles on the back. Only half of an old yellow photo remains after it was stripped. On the back are a fox and a deer, which seems to be a child's doodles. An anonymous letter, an unsigned letter addressed to the recipient with only a greeting. First, close pen Paul. It was the sixth time they had written. The sender is pouring out his thoughts, hoping for a reply. Wishes in the letter. The recipient mentioned in a previous letter that her ideal is to travel all over the world, which matches the sender's desire. An unsigned letter addressed to the recipient with only a greeting. The full letter is as follows. Hello, friend that I've never met. How have you been recently? Well, I hope. Ever since I wrote the wrong address and mistakenly sent a letter to you, we have exchanged letters this time, right? Mistake innocent for a friend. Fate is always so magical, so gratifying. By the way, you mentioned some trouble your uncle's family was having in your last letter. I wonder if that ever got resolved. This is the frugality of life. I've encountered my fair share of troubles as of late. Fortunately, you are somewhere away, you listening to my trouble. You mentioned before that your dream is to travel all over the world, and it just so happens that what I want as well. I hope these troublesome matters will distance themselves from you and me, and we will finally live in prosperity and peace. When things settle down, perhaps fate will arrange a meeting for us. I hope things will work out for you. Sincerely, your distant friend. Telegram. A telegram from Boss Lee to Little Boss. Boss Lee asked Little Boss to take over Lee Hotel and help manage it. However, when Little Boss arrived, Boss Lee has disappeared. A telegram with the names of the recipient and sender turned out read as follows. Number 9988. In recent days, I have been struck down by an infection amidst the frigid cold. My body is in poor health. I know I'm too old to continue. You should come to Jujutsu sometimes. It's time for your Uncle Lee to hand over the reins to someone young. Furthermore, I would recommend reading the seventh book on the second shelf in Cabinet 10. Wilted flower. A flower that has long wilted, its shape vaguely resembles a bellflower. A flower that has long dried up, its 5 petals vaguely resemble the bellflower. Carefully preserved within the beeches, its color and vibrancy have all but faded, but the intention of keeping it can be felt vividly. Little Boss, new owner of the Lee Hotel. First, orphan, Little Boss doesn't remember much about her childhood except that she was adopted by a couple. Her adoptive parent and Uncle Lee would communicate frequently. Since Lee didn't have any children, he cared deeply for the Little Boss. When she was 10 years old, she left Zhuzhou Town to go abroad but kept in contact with Uncle Lee, Mayfly Association member. Her true identity is a member of the Mayfly Association codenamed Snoot River. Half a month ago, she received a letter from Uncle Lee asking her to take over Lee Hotel and to wait for further instructions at the hotel. Shortly thereafter, Uncle Lee disappeared. Supposedly a distant relative of Boss Lee who is preparing to take over the Lee Hotel. Her foster parents had dealing with Boss Lee, who she calls Uncle Lee. Due to her young age, the people in the hotel often refer to her as Little Boss. Journalist Pierce, a reporter for Zhuzhou News Media. A Zhuzhou News Media reporter known as Journalist Pierce, humble and low-key, he was invited by manager to one of Yingxing Trading Company to take photos of the crime scene. Consultant Wing, financial consultant to Yingxing Trading Company. A financial consultant for Yingxing Trading Company known as Consultant Wing. Consultant Wing is a high-level intellectual with extensive financial knowledge. Interpreter Richter, college professor, accepts translation gigs on the side. A professor at Zhuzhou University known as Interpreter Richter due to his proficiency in various languages. Several foreign guests will be attending this birthday banquet, so Boss Chan invited him. President Van Hagen, president of the Zhuzhou Town Business Association. The person responsible for Zhuzhou Town Business Association, often called President Van Hagen, he is a prominent figure in town. Boss Lee, the former owner of the Lee Hotel, Mayfly Association member. Boss Lee's true identity is a member of the Mayfly Association. Half a month ago, he sent a letter to Little Boss asking her to take over Lee Hotel and to wait for further instructions at the hotel. The founder of the Lee Hotel, known as Boss Lee, a sly and affable man who disappeared more than half a month ago, but not before handing his hotel over to Little Boss. Boss Chan, a shareholder of Yingxing Trading Company. A shareholder in the Yingxing Trading Company. At 50 years of age, he is a famous philanthropist in Zhoushan. He is planning a 50th birthday banquet at the Lee Hotel. Mysterious person. A mysterious person inside the television with a strange personality and unclear motives. A mysterious person inside the television with unclear motives. Zhoushan is a central town located in a suitable area with convenient transportation. Yuatan is a central town with a moderate location and convenient transportation. Years of commercial trade development have transformed this place into a center of economic activity and trade. Lee Hotel, a famous hotel in Yuatan. Birthday banquet in the evening. Boss Chan's birthday banquet will start promptly at 5 p.m. in the hall on the first floor of the hotel. All the preparations have been completed. The Lee Hotel was originally a small hotel catering to businessmen. However, both Lee's hospitable personality and exceptional service have resonated with guests. This hotel gradually became a well-known hotel in Jujutown after several renovations in recent years. Boss Chan's room, the most luxurious suite on the highest floor in the Lee Hotel. A luxury suite booked by Boss Chian is located on the second floor of the hotel, which includes a living room, master bedroom, closet, and a lounge. There is also a spare bedroom, a wine tasting room, and much more. It's the most luxurious suite in the entire Lee Hotel. Interpreter Richter, can I ask you about Yuzhou University? Of course, I never would have imagined that you would be interested in the school that I teach at, little boss. I wouldn't say that I'm interested in the actual school. I'm just curious about what you teach there, Interpreter Richter. So you actually wanted to ask about me? I teach literature studies at Yuzhou University. I select an established piece every semester to research with the students. Literature studies? That sounds really deep. That is the reaction I often get whenever I talk about the subject I teach. But it is actually not that hard to understand. Just imagine my classes as making friends with the words in books. Making friends with the words. It does sound pretty interesting if you put it that way. The children at the relief hospital were the ones that came up with that idea. It looks to be very effective. You know the kids from the relief hospital? Yes, I visit them occasionally when I am not teaching, and I also prepare gifts for them when I have the time. You really are a kind person, Interpreter Richter. You flatter me. I only go there on occasion. I have barely spoken to a few of the kids. I am actually not that familiar with the people working at a relief hospital, so I would not say that qualifies being kind. You're being too modest. That's already way more than what most people have done. Little boss, do you have a moment? What is it, Interpreter Richter? I was just thinking, you arrived at Yushaton not too long ago, so there must be a lot of places you have not been to yet. So I was wondering if you would like to go to take a look at Yuzhou University when you are free. Our school is considered one of the landmarks of the town. If I go, would you be willing to be my guide, Interpreter Richter? Of course. Brilliant! Let me finish my work at the hotel and we can go once I'm free. Okay, I look forward to it. President Van Hagen, I want to talk to you about the association. Is the little boss interested in doing business? Not exactly. I'm just curious about what industries in Yuzhou the association is involved in. Well, that would make for a very long conversation. The smaller operations include shops and bars, and the larger ones involve schools and hospitals. You can expect the association to be involved in any and all vital industries. Wow, that's basically PAX, isn't it? That's amazing. The influence of the association is nothing to scoff at. It's alright, I guess, although it can get pretty hectic to look after with all the different industries involved. Especially the old Jesus in the association. Sometimes they think they don't have to listen to me just because they're older. That sounds exactly like Pax as well. Could this character be tailored for Marius? So, little boss, now that you've been in Yuzhou for a few days, what do you think of the place? I can't really say, to be honest. Oh, after all, I've been busy with the Lee Hotel the whole time. I haven't had any time or mood to go out and walk around. You have a point. I didn't quite think this through. How about this? When you have more free time on your hands, I'll show you around Yuzhou. I'll show you all the best food and attractions in the town. Okay, thank you, President Van Hagen. Consultant Wing, can I ask you something about the Yingxing Trading Company? What would you like to know, little boss? I will tell you everything I am allowed to, as long as it isn't confidential. Actually, I was just wondering if it's a lot of pressure to work at Yingxing. Pressure? I see. You thought I would try to dig and ask you about something secretive? No, but regarding the pressure, I find it to be adequate. I am capable of completing the tasks that the company delegates to me, so I haven't really had difficulty with work. I'm just not fond of the politics at work, so I may appear to be an outcast. But I have no interest in fitting in with them either, of course. I see. For some reason, it sounds like Consultant Wing is actually talking about his real job. Little boss, do you have some time right now? Yeah, something urgent, Consultant Wing? No, I just wanted to come and ask about how the hotel's been doing recently. After all, it's your first time running a hotel, and I was wondering if I could be of any help. Thank you for your concern, Consultant Wing. The hotel is running normally, and I can handle the workload so far. But it's just as you said, it's my first time running something like this, so I'm still trying to adapt. Especially the accounting. I can't say that I fully understand all of the spreadsheets and data, so I see. I happen to be in charge of the financial investment department at the Yixing Trading Company, hence I am quite talented at accounting. If you need help and have the time, I can help you iron things out. Okay, thank you, Consultant Win. Troublesome matters. President Von Hegel also encountered headache when dealing with the business association affair. For example, some senior managers refused to listen to his arrangements. Mysterious person, are you there? I have something I need to ask you. Oh, looking for me, little boss? Do you want to ask for clues about him? Information about him? Or how he's doing right now? None of that, actually. I want to ask about you. Just answer my questions. Okay, you are the little boss after all. Who are you exactly? Why do you only appear on the television? Me, I'm just an ordinary mysterious person. As to why I only appear on televisions, hi, well, it's top secret analogy. Hey, it's just a small question. You didn't have to disappear on me. The door to the room on the second floor of the hotel is open. A distinct sense hits you upon your entrance. Is that the smell of blood? The most eye-catching piece of furniture is the sofa in the center of the room, next to which lies a middle-aged man covered in blood. He is lying on his back with a gruesome cut across his neck, and the collar of his suit is clearly stained with blood. Layer by layer, the blood soaks through the suit and onto the carpet. This dummy is so realistic. If I wasn't aware that I was in a live-action game, I would have thought that this was a real crime scene. Luke is the first to step forward. However, he doesn't touch the body and only observes it from a close distance. It seems that there are multiple wounds on Boss Jian's body. There is blood on the back of his head, consistent with blunt force trauma. There is bruising on his mandible, probably from having been struck. But the wound on his neck appears to be the fatal wound. It's a deep cut, like it was made by a sharp object. Under those circumstances, he would have lost a lot of blood and quickly lost consciousness. Losing too much blood will cause the body to go into shock. So the slit on Boss Jian's throat was the most likely what killed him? Don't quote me on that, but that appears to be the case. One thing is certain, it is evident that Boss Jian was in an altercation with someone before his death. Artem, who had been silent beside him, suddenly squats down. He uses a clean handkerchief to grasp Boss Jian's wrist. Look here, obvious signs of scratches and bruises. From the angle he turned his wrist in, Boss Jian did have several dark red wounds on his wrist. They looked like they were caused by fingernails. Boss Jian's watch. Vin frowned, carefully inspecting Boss Jian's wrist. The watch on his wrist is broken, looking as if it had been smashed by something sharp in a fierce altercation. The hands are stopped at about 5 p.m. It is completely smashed, perhaps by something sharp during the altercation. Since it stopped at 5 p.m., does that mean the watch was smashed at around 5 p.m.? But we didn't hear anything in the room after 5 p.m. Boss Jian never called for anyone. What if someone came here before 5 p.m.? I don't know about that. We had a lot to prepare for in the afternoon, and everyone was busy. Could it have been a robber? Oh, how terrible! Before Manager Duan can even finish his thought, Maris snorts coldly. Well, why would there be a robber? I bet someone was here to seek revenge. Look at the wound on his neck. He was almost decapitated. It does seem horrifying at first glance. Who knows? Maybe the robber snuck into the hotel when nobody was looking. No, the room Boss Jian booked was a VIP room with an enclosed lounge and closet in the back. Artem looks at the closed glass window. The windows on either side of the room are sealed from the inside. It is unlikely that someone snuck into the hotel without alerting anyone. Oh, what's this? Maris bends down curiously to pick up something from under the sofa. It's a key to the room. Is this the key given to Boss Jian? The waiter nods repeatedly, confirming your doubts. I remember manager once said that the door was locked when he came earlier to check on Boss Jan. Due to that, he had to borrow the spare key from the reception. Ah, yes, that's right. And since the room key is here, that rules out the possibility that someone stole Boss Jan's key and entered his room to commit the murder. That means, at least until Manager Duan came in, the room was sealed. It also confirms what Consultant Wing said, that it is unlikely the murderer entered the guest room directly from outside the hotel. Doesn't that make this a locked room murder? According to you guys, if the doors and windows were closed properly and Boss Jan was murdered inside, are we dealing with ghosts now? Maris is so immersed in his character that he leans on the side of the sofa looking like he's enjoying the show. Oh wait, is there a possibility that the killer is someone from the hotel? As the owner of the hotel, you have to give us an answer, little boss. Somehow, Manager Duan has seized your hand and sounds very excited. Please calm down, Manager Duan. We don't have the full picture yet, so it's too early to come to any conclusions. But I don't care. You have to investigate this matter until the end. He is very determined to put forth his demands. It seems a careful investigation cannot be avoided, so you can only nod. Calm down. The Lee Hotel will cooperate with the investigation. We should split up and search the room again. Maybe the murderer left something behind. Sure. The closet is so messy that it's difficult to know where to start looking. It's so messy in here. Careful not to step on anything. Maris pushes the hangers and clothes on the ground to the side, creating a path. Did Boss Jan bring all these clothes? Why are they all on the floor? Boss Jan was probably going to change his outfit several times during the birthday banquet. Little boss, look here. The clothes appear to have been crumpled by something. Maris gestures toward a stack of clothes on the floor. Did someone fall over here and yank the clothes off the hangers for them to look like this? Could this be the first crime scene? With that thought in mind, you can't help but look at Maris, who has stood up by now. Maris moved some clothes just now. Doesn't that count as temporary with the crime scene? Did he do it deliberately or by accident? What is it? Why are you looking at me like that? Maris' behavior seems more suspicious than the potential solid evidence present in the room. It's nothing. I'm overthinking it. I can't determine the murderer on looks alone. In the chaotic closet, there are fallen hangers and scattered clothes all over. However, you find something that piques your interest. Why is this handkerchief so wrinkled? The other clothes have fewer wrinkles even though they're scattered on the ground. Judging by the pattern, this should be a man's handkerchief, but it is difficult to tell who the owner is. Was this handkerchief used to bind something? Countless possibilities race through your mind when you see the crease mark on the handkerchief. This is a phonograph, and the red stain on it is blood. A phonograph normally wouldn't be moved, but the dust mark on the cabinet seems to indicate it has been moved recently. You pick up the photograph and inspect it carefully. There is a dark red mark on its base. Are these also bloodstains? This angle matches the wound on the back of the Bastian's head. Is this photograph the murder weapon? On the table, there are 2 crystal glasses with red wine, but the scarlet wine spill on the table looks strange. Did Bastian use this wine glass? How did the wine spill if the wine glass is still upright? Did it happen when his body hit the table? Huh? Did someone open this drawer? Looking at the drawer under the light, it is easy to tell that it's not closed properly. All these drawers are not closed properly. Did someone rummage through them? What was that person looking for? Vin starts going through the drawer with you until a file folder catches your attention. Is this an investigation report of Lee Hotel? Was Bastian investigating the Lee Hotel? The only person who can answer this question can no longer speak, so you and Vin open the file folder. Designer, completion date, number of rooms. This is a very little investigation. Little boss, did Bastian and Boss Lee knew each other? I'm not sure. You took over the hotel without knowing about Boss Lee's boss? Yeah, I received a telegram from Uncle Lee asking me to come and help him take care of the hotel. I didn't know about anything else. Vin looks at you, the eyes behind his glances unfathomable, as if wondering the credibility of your words. There is a letter here. A letter written to Bastian? No, it appears to be an internal letter from the Mayfly Association. The Mayfly Association? You're surprised, showing instead a confused expression, not wanting Vin to notice anything unusual. What's the Mayfly Association? Is it famous in Yuzhatan? Little boss, you are from out of town, so it is natural you do not know. The Mayfly Association is a civil organization with the motto of making Yuzhatan a better place. They do things to help people. But they keep a low profile, so people on the outside are unaware of how big they are. Vin ran his index finger smoothly over the folds of paper, unfolding it with the same expression as before. It's hard to tell what he's thinking. Then it sounds like it's a force for the good of the community. He neither confirms nor denies your question. Instead of answering, he simply hands you the letter. There is a problem within the organization. An investigation has begun, but it may be too late to fix it. Your identity may have been exposed. Please be careful. A warning letter from members of the Mayfly Association to other members. Why does Bastian have a copy? Mayfly Association seems to have a mole problem. Interesting. Vin looks at the contents of the letter. He falls into deep thought, then reads it several more times. His attitude toward Mayfly Association is also worth investigating. Is there more to this story? With the drawers searched, you walk over to Manager Duan, who has been cowering in a corner, to ask him some questions. Approaching him, you can hear him muttering loudly while sighing. Poor Bastian, what a good man. Such a shame that he is gone. He was always kind to us. How could this happen to such a good person? He seems to ramble incessantly, so you call out to him quickly. Manager Duan. Ah, yes, what is it, little boss? He startled like a frightened bird. There are some questions regarding Boss Shan that I would like to ask you. Oh, yes, I'll tell you everything I know if it will help find the murderer. He looked ready to carry on lamenting, so you hurriedly take over the conversation once more. What were the original arrangements for Boss Shan's birthday banquet? The birthday banquet? Nothing in particular, just friends eating together, chatting. That's simple, nothing special at all. Well, if I had to say, Boschan was about to announce the donation of a house to the relief hospital at his birthday banquet. The land deed was already in the drawer of the cabinet over there. He was such a good man. How could something like this happen to him? At this point, Manager One's emotion seems to get the better of him again, and he wipes the corner of his eyes with his sleeve. You look in the direction he pointed and realize Maris is also staring over there. He notices your gaze, his face expressionless, staring at you for a brief moment before looking away. Is there anything odd about this land deed? Does it have something to do with Marius? How were Boschan's interpersonal relationships? Did he have any enemies that wanted to retaliate against him? At your speculation, Manager One shakes his head adamantly, not entertaining the idea in the slightest. Impossible! Boschan has always been kind to others, and he had multiple acts of charity under his belt. How could he have any enemies who wanted to retaliate? I just can't believe the killer targeted such a good man. He was kind to others and did good deeds. You look at the not motionless body of Boschan as it lays on the ground, and you find yourself deep in thought once more. What time did Boschan get to the hotel, and what did he do before 5 p.m.? He arrived at 1 p.m. 1 p.m.? Why did he come so early? Didn't the birthday banquet start at 5 p.m.? Yes, he originally planned to arrive at 4 p.m., but he seemed to have a sudden change of plans and come over earlier. Why did he arrive ahead of time? Let me think. Boschan was drinking tea and chatting with Consultant Wing in the lobby at 2 p.m. Consultant Wing? Right, and the two of them looked like they had set up the meeting in advance. Maybe Boschan came here early to talk to Consultant Wing. Huh? An appointment with Consultant Wing? Did he make the appointment himself? Your mind is suddenly filled with endless speculations as Manager One continues. Never having a pleasant chat. I remember they talked until 3 p.m., which was when I went to the kitchen to confirm the birthday banquet menu. That long? What did they talk about? About the economy, I think. I'm not sure about the details. Then around 3:30 p.m., the head chef brought out a bowl of sweet lotus soup for Boschan. Not much else happened. Sweet lotus soup? Did Boschan order it himself? Yes. Boschan believed that sweet lotus soup had positive effects on one's longevity, so he drank a bowl of it every day at 4 p.m. It's no secret, really. I see. However, as you obtain more information, the mystery grows. Yeah, that's all for my question. Thank you for your help. No, I'm happy to help, little boss. You have to seek justice for Bostian. How terrible. Manager One keeps mumbling and lamenting up until you leave. On the white carpet, the spilled blood had already formed what looks like frightening crimson flower. The juxtaposition of red and white makes one wonder what really happened in this room. Yeah, it's shut tightly. You once again look around the room and strange feelings keep coming back to you. The scene clearly looks like a murder-robbery scene, so why did the murderer make it look like a lockroom murder? Was it accidental or deliberate? Since the incident happened, the commotion in the lobby downstairs hadn't ceased. Life is like a box of chocolates, you never know what will happen next. Who could have known the good ones never live long? One of the other guests shakes his head and his words are full of regrets. It could happen to anyone. Such a shame it had to happen to a great man. Yeah, he even held a charity event at Jinjing Street this morning for his birthday. I went there for the event. At the time, the man seems fine and was very courteous to me. A charity event? Upon hearing information about Boss Chan's schedule before coming to the hotel, you immediately stop everything you're doing and look at Luke. But you see that he is frowning, his face solemn, and you do not know what's on his mind. Journalist Pierce? Journalist Pierce? Huh? Yeah, what is it? No, it's nothing. I just overheard some guests talking about a charity event. I was gonna ask them about it and thought you might want to join me. Luke nods and the two of you walk up to the guests to ask them about the charity event. Excuse me, were you talking about a charity event just now? Little boss, you're new in town, so you might not know. Boss Chan is the most famous philanthropist in Zhujiaotown. He's done countless charitable acts. The Ren Hui Relief Hospital, for example, Boss Chan has made multiple donations, both in terms of money and goods, and even visits the children at the hospital. He's such a kind person. On his birthday every year, he holds a charity event at Yijin Street. Citizens can see doctors for free, receive free foods, and even get job referrals. I was there. I saw it. He was a reputable man. That's because Boss Chan has gained fame over the years, and everyone trusts and loves him. Those of us in the media also like to work alongside him and help him with promoting his work. Luke, who has been silent for a while, suddenly speaks. Luke has been acting strange ever since he heard about the charity event. Could he be hiding something? The two guests are still reeling from the news of Boss Chan's death, but you didn't have the heart to listen to them anymore. Your mind is focused on Luke. Not far from the body is a sofa. You glance at it casually, noticing suspicious dark spots on the burgundy cushion. You put it up to your nostrils, and a rusty scent fills them. Blood, for sure. It's less evident because of the sofa is burgundy. If this blood belongs to Boss Chan, that means he was already injured on the couch. If that's the case, why did the body end up on the floor? What exactly happened? You have so many doubts, yet you can only investigate the scene in detail, hoping to find more clues. As you scan the room, something flashy under the sofa catches your attention. Huh? Did you find something, little boss? Yeah, Consultant Wing. I think there's something under the sofa. With that, you want to take a closer look, but your elbow is pulled back by Artem. Allow me. Before you can react, Artem kneels down, fiddling under the sofa with his hand. He then takes out something wrapped in a handkerchief. That's A narrow cut on his longer finger draws your attention almost immediately. Your finger. Is that the wound that was drawn on? Well, it looks realistic enough. Artem ignores your doubts and completely and silently uses the other hand to show you what he found. What do you think this is? He changes the topic, and you don't pursue it either. After all, it's better to focus on the matter at hand. In the middle of the plain handkerchief is a ring with a silver glow, which must be the light you just saw. The blood on the outside of the ring silently indicates its significance. A ring blade? Could it be the murder weapon? Your voice barely escapes your mouth when Manager Duan seems to latch onto the keywords you said. A ring blade? It's a ring blade! Calm down. So what if it's a ring blade? The ring blade is a weapon favored by the Jiangjin gang. Upon hearing what Manager Duan said, Arthur's eyebrows frowned for a fraction of a second. It was brief, but you still managed to catch it. He seems to sense your gaze and clears his throat before speaking coldly. This is a sharp blade. It's easily hidden and convenient, making it a very handy tool. Right, if this is the murder weapon, it means the Jiangjin gang is responsible. The Jiangjin gang? What is that? You try to act like a newcomer, like you don't know anything at all. Little boss, it's normal for you not to know since you're new in town. In Zhujiao town, the Jiangjin gang is famous. No, notorious even. These racketeers are mostly people without homes or jobs. They only engage in fights or scams. They have committed numerous crimes, and the people of our small town are deeply disgusted with them. You nod, and Arthur picks up where he left off. As their power grows, they harass merchants and collect so-called Jews. They are the local villains. Even so, they wouldn't dare to provoke such a big company like Yingjing, right? Besides, Boschan seems to have a good reputation. Why would the Jiangjin gang target him? It must be greed. Those poor scum coveted Boschan's wealth. Now, I have to check to see if anything was stolen. Before you can stop him, Manager Duan runs out of the room like a gust of wind. Is it really as simple as Manager Duan said? You don't believe him? He has no reason to lie, but the ring blade itself is strange. If the Jiangjin gang was responsible, would they leave behind such obvious evidence? Artem does not say anything, instead staring at the ring blade silently, as if pondering your question. Looking at his hand that's been wrapped tightly, the shadow looming in your heart cannot be dispersed. Manager Duan holds a white porcelain bowl in both hands and frowns as if he has discovered something incredible. You glance over, realizing that the bowl is filled with sweet lotus soup, already cold. Judging by the amount, Boschan never drank it. With a gust of wind, several posters pasted on the wall arc through the air like dead leaves, one of which you reach out to grab. Boschan, a well-known and charitable businessman in Zhujiao, has focused on charity activities for several years, and the scope of his work has continued to expand. Boss Chan rocketed to fame for his charity work, and his vision is to benefit all mankind. It sounds like Boss Chan wanted to do even more charity work. The promotion was overwhelming, yet nothing had been done. Vin mocked coldly, his tone absent of emotion. Unfortunately, before he could do anything, he did do something. Huh? He came to me before and asked me to translate and proofread several foreign promotional articles for him. Promotional articles? It seems like he cared about his reputation just as much as his charity work. For a man in his position with so much power, why would he not care about his reputation? Perhaps due to the darkness, Vince's eyes seems much brighter than usual, but you can't tell what he is thinking. In the dark night, only the dim light of the street lamp reminds the passerby of the hustle and bustle of the day. The quiet and desolate atmosphere makes the poster in the window of the department store stand out vividly. It's a pity, isn't it? The man in the poster smiles kindly at the camera with open hands as if to welcome everyone to participate in the charity event. Yet in reality, that man is lying on the cold floor, unable to smile ever again. How can I help you two? The department shop is closing. A woman wearing a headscarf and an apron, dressed as a sales associate, comes out of the department store to greet the two of you. Nothing. You suddenly remember the charity event that you and Luke discussed earlier. This employee might know something. So you call out to stop her, asking about the charity event during the day, which she seems hesitant about. Hello, I am a reporter for the Yuzhou News Media. I'm writing an article on the charity event that happened during the day. Can I trouble you with a few questions? The store employee takes the business card, inspects it several times, then nods. Okay, hurry and ask. What was the overall process of the charity event? Well, Boss Chan opened the event with a speech, then distributed food supplies and winter clothing to the people who came to attend. Did a lot of people attend? More than I could count. Boss Chan prepared over a dozen boxes of supplies, which were all distributed quickly. When did the event end? Around noon, after the supplies were all distributed. Some of the children didn't get any, so Boss Chan comforted them and told them to go to Renhui Relief Hospital. You recall the guests in their hotel mentioning how much Boss Chan donates to the Renhui Relief Hospital. You know it, suddenly taking note of it. Did anything special happen at the charity event? Anything special? Yes, anything at all. You remember your conversation with Luke that day when he mentioned Boss Chan leaving in the middle of the event is something that has been on your mind. Well, there was an incident, but it wasn't anything special. The Jianjin gang is capable of anything. The Jianjin gang? What happened? Another familiar name. You quickly follow up with another question. As you well aware, the Jianjin gang only picks on the weak, while never daring to mess with the strong. So they normally wouldn't dare mess with someone like Boss Chan. They probably woke up on the wrong side of the bed that day. In front of so many people, they claimed that they came for the supplies, but they were clearly up to no good. Did Boss Chan give them any supplies? Of course not. How could he? We commoners may be afraid of the Jianjin gang, but not Boss Chan. He gave them a scolding and drove them away. When they scurried away in disgrace, the people at the event burst into applause. It was quite a spectacle. As you recall, Manager Duan said that the ring blade is the preferred weapon of the Zhanjing gang. Your suspicion rises. Any other questions? No, that's all. Thanks for your help. If this interview is published in the newspaper, remember to mention the name of our shop. While the store employee is chatting with Luke, you head over to the place where the event was held. Some of the tables and chairs have not been put away, and the promotion banners are still blowing gently in the wind. You carefully look around. Oh, isn't this? At the base of an inconspicuous wall, there is a mark that you know all too well. Isn't this a Mayfly Association mark? What's it doing here? Little boss, you don't look so well. Are you okay? Just when you wanted to get a closer look, Luke, who was chatting with the store employee moments ago, suddenly appears by your side. Yeah, it's been a long day. Yeah, we've been up for a long time, little boss. I'm going back to the hotel to rest. You should head back soon as well. With a wink, he tells you almost deliberately what he is going to do next. Thank you for your concern, General Spears. The night envelops the town like a black fog, where light cannot permeate even the slightest of cracks. It's similar to your mood at the moment. You look at the quiet street, emotion rushing to your heart, until you hear a familiar sight. Following the sound, you see Manager Duan. Our poor boss Xian. Why do the good ones get taken away so early? He seems to notice your stare. As the wheels grow louder, you massage your temples. Manager Duan, if you want to say something, just say it. Little boss, how did you know? It seems you've been hesitant. There must be something you can't talk about at the hotel, right? Hearing your words, joy flickers in Manager Duan's eye. He quickly spins around. I suspected of the little boss, then let me be frank with you. In fact, when you asked me about what Boss Xian did at the hotel, there was one thing I didn't tell you. What is it? You are about to ask the reason why when it dawns on you. The reason why Manager Duan is silent must be that this testimonial concerns someone present at the time. And of all the people present at the time, the only one that he could be so afraid of. Judging by how clever you are, I'm sure you can make sense of it. In the afternoon, President Von Hagen got into an argument with Boss Xian in the lobby. President Von Hagen. He has always been at odds with Boss Xian, but I didn't hear what their argument was over, except that Boss Xian was extremely angry after he left. They must have had a huge argument. A huge argument? One that might lead to a physical aggression? If they don't get along with each other, as you claim, why would President Von Hagen attend the birthday banquet? Yeah, I didn't think much of it at the time, but it's coming back to me after the tragedy. If Boss Xian was murdered by the Zhanjing gang, then maybe they only care about money, not people. Who only cares about money, not people? A familiar voice sneers coldly into your ear, sending shivers down your spine. President Von Hagen! Mary snorts, the smile on his lips colder than the moon. Oh, you guys were talking about me? No, that's not what I meant. Then what did you mean, Manager Duan? He enunciated every word, as if he was going to break down Manager Duan's spoons. As for me, I'm not afraid of a crooked shoe, unlike some people who only gossip behind others' back. Even if Boss John is still alive, I would dare confront him about anything. I'm not the one who's feeling guilty. With that, he moved closer to your ear, speaking in a voice that only the two of you can hear. Little boss, I may not be a good guy, but I do not wrong others. Then he gives a cold smirk while shoving a glass at Manager Duan. Seeing the man shiver, he walks away with a smirk. You and Autumn have just walked past a telephone booth when a dark shadow flashes by. Before you have time to react, Autumn already had his hands out. Like grabbing a chicken by the neck, Autumn subdues a man dressed as a gangster. Oh, what are you guys doing? It's against the law to hit someone. I'm calling the police. He struggled to break free from Autumn's grip, but he continued rambling on about something. Please do. I'd like to see what reason would someone who's trying to cut and run have for the police. You... Autumn's word leaves the delinquent desperate for a comeback. He soon stops struggling, defeat written all over his face. Tell me, what were you doing sneaking around there? Please spare me this time, kind strangers. I won't do it again. We haven't even seen anything yet, and you're begging us for mercy. You have to tell us what you did first before we can decide whether or not to let you go, right? I'm starving. I'm at my wit's end. The delinquent reaches into the inside pocket of his patch coat and pulls out a crumpled paper bag. If the pastries aren't sold today, they'll just be thrown out tomorrow. I'm not stealing them. I'm doing them a favor. Autumn's eye keep getting sharper and sharper until the delinquent's voice lowers to a whisper. You were stealing food? Yeah, how else am I supposed to survive? I'm not afraid to say it. My family wasn't rich by any means, but at least we didn't have to worry about food or shelter. But the Xianjing gang, for some reason, they started targeting our shop. They harassed my family every day, telling us to sell our shop. My family was running a small business, and we couldn't deal with that every day. My shop is gone, and my parents died from an illness. I'm all alone. Well, at least I've only got one mouth to feed now. I can do whatever I want, and being a delinquent just felt like the right choice. The delinquent starts going off on a tangent, and Autumn clears his throat to get him back on track. In fact, I haven't done anything too harmful. Compared to the Zhanjing gang, I'm quite a pleasant man. But those guys make it hard for us citizens to live. The more chaotic the world, the more arrogant they are, and the harder my life gets. Just don't make a habit of it. The Zhanjing gang is growing stronger because of the difficult times. Is there something else going on? Because he is honest with the two of you, you decide not to make things harder for him. You pay for his pastry and he leaves after thanking you. Lee Hotel entrance. You walk out of the Lee Hotel to find the streets packed with people. The vendors in the alleys are having a shouting contest to promote their products. The streets are bustling with energy. You gaze upon the scene in front of you and begin to zone out. It really feels like you've been living in Yuzhou Town for a very long time. However, this is not the time to stop and smell the flowers. You have something important you must do. Besides cooperating to find out who really killed Boss Chan, I still have to... You mind drifts back to the memory of the first time you set foot in the Lee Hotel comes to mind. Study. You notice a small line of words while checking the identity card. It instructed you to go to Uncle Lee's study to find the letters left specially for you. And so, after cooperating with the initial investigation regarding Boss Chan's incident, you made an excuse to come here. From what you can see, the study is decorated in a classic and minimalist style. The bookshelves are filled with literature of all sizes. It's obvious that Uncle Lee really liked this place. I'm not sure why I suddenly have a feeling of unease. I feel like this hidden task is more complicated than I originally imagined. But since I'm already here, I might as well get into it and immerse myself in the full experience. You take a deep breath and get back into character. Where would the letter Uncle Lee left me be hidden? You look around the room and examine the decorations. You unintentionally glance at the bag in your hand, and suspicions come to mind. Could the things in the bag be hints? You look through the items in the bag again and discover a clue on telegram 9988 that you didn't notice before. There is a sentence at the end of the telegram that says, and also I recommend the 7th book on the 2nd row of the 10th shelf. I thought this was useless information. Looks like I was too quick to strike it off. The letter is probably hidden in that book that Uncle Lee liked so much. Good thing I took a look in the purse, or it'd be impossible to find it. Following the instructions on the telegram, you find the 10th book and open the 7th book on the 2nd row. It's just as the instructions entail. A secret letter is resting in the pages of the book. The envelope is sealed and reads to the little boss. After opening the envelope, a letter appears before your eyes. Little boss, I hope you are well. When you find this letter, it means you are ready to complete this secret task. I wanted to tell you this in person, but I am unable to leave Yuzhou Town right now. You can never expect the unexpected. This is why I have decided on this arrangement instead. I left a big secret inside the Lee Hotel. Your task is... It takes some time for you to finish reading the letter. However, the task the letter mentions casts a mysterious shroud over your trip to Yuzhou. So there's a great secret hidden in the hotel. Uncle Lee split the key guarding the secret into 8 different pieces and hid them with people he trusted or in hard-to-discover places. What I need to do is to find the key and unravel the secrets hidden within the hotel. Not only that, but Uncle Lee already left me the first clue. He wants me to go and find Supervisor Zhao at the Lee Hotel on Yinxing Street. Little boss, what's on your mind? Someone gently pats you on the shoulder and snaps you out of your daze. You turn around to find Luke standing next to you. General Spears, you startled me. I wasn't thinking about anything. But you've been standing here for a really long time. According to the letter Uncle Lee left behind, you are not allowed to tell anyone about this before you retrieve the key. You're still unable to determine who your identity will actually be siding with. You look at Luke, not knowing how to respond to him. In the moment of awkwardness, Atom, Vin, and Maris coincidentally all appear at the door of the Lee Hotel. Little boss, General Spears, you two aren't secretly talking about the keys behind our backs, are you? No, we just happened to run into each other. I saw her standing by the door for a really long time. She looked like she had something on her mind, so I came over to see if she was alright. Something on your mind, little boss? Are you worrying about the incident regarding Boss Chan? No. Oh, then what is it? After involuntarily answering, you realize you've dug a hole for yourself. Artem speaks after seeing your long hesitation. Little boss, there is no need to be so tense. You can tell us about any troubles you're facing. We can all help you solve your case. Yeah, little boss, go ask around. There's nothing that I, President Van Hagen, can't take care of in Shusha Town. You don't know what to do when faced with the passionate gaze before you. Suddenly, a great idea comes to mind. Fine, since you're all so eager to help, here it goes. The Lee family has an ancient heirloom that Uncle Lee wants me to inherit. I came to Shusha not only to take over the Lee Hotel, but also for something else that's really important. You're here for the heirloom? That's right. Did he tell you where he put it? Is it in a bank or a pawn shop waiting to be retrieved by you in exchange for some kind of token? If only things were that simple. Uncle Lee said in a letter that the heirloom has always been desired by many, and this place hasn't what you would call peaceful as of late. He was afraid that something bad would happen before I made it to Shusha Town, and he hid the heirloom in a secret place. He wants me to find it through a game that we would play when I was still a little girl. A game when you were still a little girl? Yeah, it's like a treasure hunt. I would go searching for something step by step based on the clues he left me. They all fall silent after hearing what you said. You're not sure what they're thinking about. After a while, Luke looks up first and smiles at you. I'll join you, little boss. A treasure hunt for the Lee family heirloom. That will definitely be a huge headline. I too am interested. I hope you will not refuse me. You guys, I'm coming too then. As a president, I should definitely see this through. Marius winks at you. Artem gently clears his throat and chimes in. Since everyone is going, I suppose I will join in as well. Dear boss, you mentioned that there are others with their eyes set on their heirloom. It would naturally be safer if we have more people looking after one another during the search. After seeing the four of them using all kinds of excuses to join in on the journey, you can't help but feel as if you knew things would turn out this way all along. Now, what was originally meant to be a solo secret task is a group treasure hunt. But maybe this will bring on an all-new experience. Sure, let's look for it together. Things will definitely be easier with more help. But I do have one rule, no talking about Boss Xian during the search. Agreed, let's not get work and private life mixed up. It'd be tiring if we have to keep an eye on one another during the search. I agree. I feel the same way as the little boss. Great, I was just thinking the same thing. Okay then, let's hurry and get moving. The first clue that Uncle Lee left me was to find Supervisor Zhao at the Lee Hotel on Yinjing Street. After asking for direction multiple times on Yixin Street, you finally get your hands on the address of Supervisor Zhao's home. At the same time, you discover that Supervisor Zhao has been working as the head supervisor at the Lee Hotel for 5 years. However, he has been resting at home recently due to physical illnesses. That's why the hotel has been under the management of the others. Jinghua Lin. You walk for a while and stop on a busy street. The structures behind the vendors on both sides are residential buildings. This street is different from the loud and lively one from before. The buildings are older here and filled with life. The old grandpa said that Supervisor Xiao's place is on Jinghua Lane number 1321 West Yingxin Street. That should be it, right? Luke raises his brow and points at the door behind a wine shop. That should be it. I'll go knock and ask. After knocking on the door for a few times, a deep and hoarse male voice sounds from the other side of the door. I'm coming. As the door slowly opens, an old man dressed in Changshan appears in front of you. He looks to be confused at the sight, and his expression morphs into one of weariness. Who are you guys looking for? Does Supervisor Xiao live here? I am Xiao, and you are? Hello, Supervisor Xiao. I am a distant relative of Uncle Lee. I've recently taken over the Lee Hotel. I do recall something similar. They told me about it before. Are you the little boss here to take over his hotel? Yup, that's me. Supervisor Xiao sizes you up, then glances at the other four. The weariness on his face has yet to fade. And who are the other four? Are they employees of the hotel? Ah, they are my friends. Supervisor Xiao finally lets his guard down after you introduce the four. His cautious expression turns into sadness. I see. Ever since Lee went missing, my health has gotten worse as well. I'm really sorry for not being able to help you with the hotel. Supervisor Xiao, please, it's not a problem at all. Everything is just fine at the hotel. Yes, there is always someone looking after the hotel. It is running smoothly. Supervisor Xiao, don't worry and focus on resting. You guys look at one another as everyone avoids talking about Boss Jian. I see. Good to know. When I'm better, I'll return to the hotel immediately. Ah, I've been talking about myself all this time. Little boss, I suspect you are here because of the matter Lee had planned before, correct? Supervisor Xiao changes the subject and gazes directly at you. Yeah, it's about the Lee family heirloom. Uncle Lee left me a letter and told me to come find you. You have no choice but to go with an excuse you just made up. You bet your eyelashes at Supervisor Xiao, hoping he'll understand. The family heirloom. Oh yes, I know what you're talking about. Come with me, little boss. Gentlemen, please wait for a moment. You look at the other four and nod toward them before entering the door with Supervisor Zhao. When you return to the entrance, the four quickly approach you. How was it? Did you get it? Where did Supervisor Zhao take you? What's with all the mystery? You guys didn't even take us with you. Where is Supervisor Zhao? The little boss will not be able to answer all your questions at once. Yes, we should make our inquiries after she tells us what happened. Luke and Mary stopped their barrage of questions after hearing what Finn and Arthur said. They continued to stare at you. After going inside with Supervisor Zhao, he gave something to me and went to rest. He said that Uncle Lee asked him to hold on to it for me. But it's not the treasure that I had in mind. You show them the item that Supervisor Zhao gave you. It's a cyan bamboo container with a short note and a key inside. The note is another address, number 7 Weiyu Street. Did Bosley hide the heirloom there? We should go there and find out. I agree. Let's go. The 5 of you take another look at the door and head out to the address on the note. Secret House. After arriving at number 7 Weiyu Street, you use the key inside the bamboo container and successfully open the locked door. What you find inside is an empty Western-style residence. From the looks of it, this place looks to be a secret residence that Bosley prepared for himself. Nothing out of the ordinary. People with money often arrange several houses like this for themselves to do secretive things in. Upon hearing what he said, everyone looks toward Marius. What? Why are you all staring at me? After realizing why everyone is looking at him, the expression on Marius' face quickly changes. That's them. I'm me. I don't have an interest in that kind of thing. I'm just sharing an objective fact. We were only looking at you. No need to be so dramatic, President Van Hagen. President Van Hagen, interpreted Richter, now isn't the time for this. Consultant Wing is right. We're here to help the little boss locate the heirloom. Artem and Luke interrupt the friendly exchange between Marius and Vin just in time. After a few moments of silence, they all look at you again, waiting for you to speak. Then, let's look around and see what we can find. This newspaper is dated 3 days before Uncle Lee went missing. It seems like Bosley never came here again after that day. Does the newspaper contain some special information? I look over it, nothing stands out. There aren't any special markings on the newspaper either. It seems to be an ordinary newspaper that Uncle Lee was reading. Bosley sure had some fancy hobbies. These landscape paintings are pretty good. Aside from artistic appreciation, their commercial value must be the reason why Bosley kept them. Sounds like there's nothing special here. I guess we have to look elsewhere. Looking around other areas have not revealed any clues either. You can't seem to find anything in the living room, so you continue further in together and search the bookcase. After some time, you discover a hidden compartment in the bookcase. After opening it, you find a gorgeous wooden box with a combination lock. It was hidden so well, the family album is probably inside. I'm not sure. It could be. Recalling the 8 key pieces that Uncle Lee mentioned in his letter, you can't help feeling guilty as you answer. Fortunately, Vin jumps in on the conversation and directs everyone's attention toward the box in front of him. Do you have any idea what the password might be, little boss? Bosley must have left behind some clues for you. Right, let me think. The combination is made up of 4 digits. If the numbers are related to something, could it have something to do with the arrangement of the bookcase in the study where the secret letter was discovered? The 7th book on the second shelf of the 10th bookcase, could it be 1027? Let's try it. Do you have an idea, little boss? Yeah. Under their expectant gazes, you input the password according to the information you just recalled. The lock automatically opens with a click. After opening the wooden box, an exquisite piece of metal reveals itself before your eyes. It truly opened. But why is it a model? And it's only a small piece. Before you can react, a dark figure breaks through the window, snatching the box out of your hands. No one could have predicted this. It happened so suddenly that you all are frozen in place, completely shocked. Huh? What the? Did that really just happen? Are all the live action role playing games like this? What are we waiting for? Don't let him get away. It's as if Luke's words snap everyone back to reality. The five of you rush out of the house and chase after the figure. From street. After running for a bit, you finally stop the thief at an intersection. Both his appearance and clothes are pretty ordinary. You can't discern anything in particular. As Luke pulls the man's arm behind his back, he begins to mumble non-stop. I've been spying on that place for a long time. I had no idea 5 people would show up. If it were for all of you getting nosy, I would have gotten away with it. This is all your guys' fault. I had a good thing going and you ruined it. I was moving up in the world. There are people who really covet this key. Don't tell me I got the role of a prophet. You sure have a mouth, don't you? Tell us who you're working for if you know what's good for you. Mary speaks in an amused tone, just like the head of a large conglomerate. I'll never tell, not even if you beat me to death. This isn't going to end well for you. Tell us what we want to know and we might let you live. No, wait, I'm not talking. The man's voice grows louder, attracting not only the attention of passers-by on the street but also the town's peacekeeper, Officer Jean. After you explain the situation, Officer Jean takes the man away without another word, and you are unable to ask further questions. As you all watch their receding figures, Luke sighs helplessly. Why do I feel like Officer Jean took him away just to make it harder for us to find the family heirloom? Maybe this was all part of the plan. I thought we were getting somewhere. Well, at least we learned that we may encounter various dangers in our search for the heirloom. Even though they won't hurt us, they might be unexpected incidents. It's just like the little boss said, other people are also after things belonging to the Lee family. We are unusual after all, anything is possible. As you listen to what Vin said, you all can't help but survey your surroundings. There are crowds and traffic everywhere, and everything before you seems so real. You take a deep breath, shaking the wooden box in your hands. Well, at least we got the box back. It's a little loud here. Let's head back to Uncle Lee's house to talk this through. Everyone nods in agreement, and you set off toward Wei Street. I wanted to write a special article for Boss Xian, but I didn't think this would happen. Journalist Pierce, do you know Boss Chan? Kind of. I know him, but he might not remember me. I am an orphan. If it wasn't for Boss Chan's support, I wouldn't have been able to finish my education or get into the news agency. All in all, he counts as my benefactor. Boss Chan supported journalist Pierce then before. So you'd also received help from Boss Chan before. No wonder you had such a heavy expression when one of the guests mentioned Boss Chan doing a charity event at Yingxing Street in the morning. Heavy? Luke frowns, revealing a troubled expression. Yeah, I was at the live event at Yingxing Street in the morning, taking photos. In the afternoon, I was supposed to take more photos of Boss Chan at the Lee Hotel, but he Luke sighs deeply as if to confirm the sorrow in his words. Did you say you were at the charity event in the morning? Yeah, I fought the news agency for a long time to get this opportunity. After covering the story, I wanted the chance to thank Boss Chan for his help. I didn't expect. That means you didn't get the chance all morning? Yeah, Boss Chan is a well-known philanthropist in Suzhou Town, and he frequently hosts charity events to help the less fortunate. So, in any event where he is present, it's sure to attract a lot of participation. There were so many people at the event that it took me a long time to find an angle to take photos. But it's hard to get access to Boss Chan, let alone a chance to chat. But at this point, Luke stopped for a moment, then he growls. What is it? I remember Boss Chan was absent for some time during the charity event. He spoke a few words to someone in an alley, then returned to the live event. Really? Are you sure you saw that right? I'm sure. At the time, I was running out of film, so I ran out of the crowd to borrow some from a colleague. When I was changing films, that's when I saw him. Unfortunately, I didn't get it on camera, otherwise that probably would have been another big story. Luke's expression seems a little excited. Talking to someone alone, what would be so important that he would go out alone? But if what journalist Pierce said is true, wouldn't it be better to visit Yingxing Street for a look? What if I came across more information? Just now, in front of the department store, you were giving me a look, journalist Pierce. Is there something you wanted to tell me in private? Yeah, I wanted an opportunity to talk to you in private. We didn't have much of a chance back on Yingxing Street. Thankfully, you got my signal. That's thanks to our tacit understanding. So, what did you want to say to me? Luke was the one that gave you the signal, but he falls silent when you ask him about it. He thinks for a moment, then looks up at you. As you may have noticed, President von Hagen has a problem with Boss Chan. That's putting it lightly. He gets mad the moment he hears anyone complimenting Boss Chan. You hold back your inner thoughts and nod along to Luke's statement. As far as I know, the two families haven't been on good terms for a long time, which started with the previous generation. One is the president of the famous business association in Suzhou Town, and the other is a highly respected philanthropist. In fact, they've competed secretly many times, but neither has made a real impact on the other's forces. You mean to say Boss Chan is not the man manager one claims him to be? That he is exceptionally tolerant of others? I don't know about that, but Boshan is my benefactor, and it wouldn't be right of me to judge him based on what other people see. But Luz hesitates for a moment, lowering his voice. I had a colleague who tried to investigate the cause of the conflict between President von Hagen and Boshan, but the investigation was stopped halfway. Stop? Yes, I only know that. Our editor-in-chief has kept the contents of the investigation confidential. Nobody has ever touched it since then. So that's all I can tell you. Journalist Spears, if you don't mind me asking, why are you sharing this information with me? According to you, wasn't the news agency responsible for silencing the discussion? I wasn't part of the discussion. I was merely stating the facts. Reporters only need to report the facts. That's all. Besides, if something happened to Boss Lee in the Lee Hotel, it would be better for you to know more about the situation and make preparations accordingly, right? His words don't leave any room for interpretation, making you wonder if he really wanted to share what he knew with you, or did he want to cast doubt on President von Hagen? Thank you for Journalist Spears. I'll make a note of it. If the police came to investigate, I'll be truthful in my answers. That's good to hear. Luke nods approvingly. You see the same familiar smile on a familiar face, but there seems to be a layer of haze transforming him into another person. This is difficult. It's the first time I felt the need to be careful with what I said around Luke. I guess this is part of the challenge. President von Hagen, you seem to care about the land deed that Boshan was donating to the Reinhold Relief Hospital. Oh, how did you figure that out? Just a hunch. When Manager Duan mentioned the land deed just now, your expression seemed strange. Very sharp, little boss. If everyone was like you, I'd have no place to hide in the business world. There was a hint of self-deprecation in his words, but it also gave you an obvious hint. So you do care about that land deed? Not exactly. That land did originally belong to the von Hagen family. It was Boshan who stole it from us and pretended to be a good man. What? Then why? You are about to ask the reason, but Marius interrupts you. I know it's not my business. There are more to Boshan than meets the eye. Those who put him on a pedestal don't know anything. You'd best be careful, little boss. Don't be a sheep that will only follow others blindly and be vague about your stand. His words feel like a warning, but the more you think about it, the more it sounds like a hint. President von Hagen, aren't you being vague as well? After all this time, you still haven't told me why you had a problem with Boshan. It's nothing, just an old grievance. It has nothing to do with what happened today. He subconsciously turns the ring on his index finger as if it was a gesture of unconscious thought. But it's this gesture that brings your attention to the finger. Its shape is not as round as a common jade ring, but its surface had bumps here and there. That index finger ring, its bumpy shape makes it easy to leave a mark on someone else, right? You suddenly recall the abnormal red marks on Boshan's wrist, your heart wavering. President von Hagen, that index finger ring is quite unique. Eh? Marius probably didn't expect you to change the topic so suddenly. He paused for a moment before responding. It's for my self-protection. As you know, the days are not peaceful, and we will inevitably encounter unruly people in our business. Without some means of defense, how can I get by? I see. President Van Hagen is a cautious man. He was so comfortable talking about his index finger ring and what it's used for. Does he not mind what associations that could bring? No, what if it's just a bluff? After all, the person who is the most suspicious is also the safest. The situation is so complicated. I didn't expect everyone to be serious in this game. President Van Hagen, I'll be frank. What exactly happened between you and Boss Chan? What, are you suspecting me now, little boss? Marius smiled softly, his attitude as smooth as ever. My attitude toward the old man has always been the same. There's nothing to say. Of course there is. You won't let him beat around the bush any longer, so you get right to the point. Just now, Manager One claimed that you and Boss Chan were having an argument this afternoon. And you admitted it yourself, President Van Hagen. You don't get along with Boss Chan. It's natural for others to suspect you. Isn't that normal? That does matter. That doesn't matter. I'll take care of it. Take care of what? Take care of the people who suspect me. Okay, I won't tease you anymore. You just want to know why I hate the old guy so much, right? I'll tell you. Marius changes his teasing tone and he wears a solemn expression on his face. The old man's not who people say he is. Do you think the house he's donating to the Red Rural Hospital is his own? That's my ancestral home. Decades ago, Chian scammed my father, forcing him to use the house to pay off the debt. You mean Boshan hatched a scheme to steal your family's land deed? So that's what was Manager One witnessed you and Boshan arguing about? In a sense, I've always wanted to confront Boshan about it. I wish I could have asked him, why did you betray my father when he completely trusted you? It's a pity he will never give me that chance. Before I could say what I wanted, he kicked me out. Look, if I really was the murderer, wouldn't it be too obvious of me to wait in your hotel to be discovered? Yeah. It's a little difficult to judge with such an honest attitude. Do you mind telling me the details of what happened that year? Marius shakes his head. Little boss, that would be too greedy of you to hear the entire story in one go. I'll admit what I've done. As for what I didn't do, I won't let myself be slandered. He looks at you, not seriously, but with an intriguing gaze. I see. It seems this topic will only go this far today. Even if you press him further, President Van Hagen won't reveal any more information. But because of this, the confusion accumulating in your heart snowballs. If President Van Hagen really is the murderer, it would be too obvious, right? It feels hard to make sense of the case. Interpreter Richter, I notice you keep looking at the letter we found in the drawer. Is there something wrong with that letter? No, I am somewhat curious and hopeful when it comes to the Mayfly Association, so I read it a few more times. Vin adjusts his glasses. Through them, you can see a gentle smile in his eyes. In truth, even before I came to this town, people often talk about the Mayfly Association in my hometown. They said the Mayfly Association is a mysterious organization that dares to fight against evil forces and protect ordinary citizens. So I am curious, are there really people who are so selfless and helpful? What do members of the Mayfly Association think about on a normal day? Judging from his tone, he isn't just curious. Well, I know even less about the Mayfly Association. Vin frowns thoughtfully, then nods again. Little boss, you are new in Jijia, so it is normal for you not to know about the Mayfly Association. However, if you were a local, perhaps you would be the one telling me interesting stories about the Mayfly Association members. Your heart suddenly jumps. Vince's words sound like he's expressing regret, but what if he's suggesting that he knows something? Now that you mention it, I'm starting to become interested in the Mayfly Association as well. Unfortunately, Boshan is already. If we had the pleasure of talking to him face to face, we might learn so much more about the Mayfly Association. You sigh half-heartedly and steer the conversation toward Boshan. Yes, I cannot believe Boshan may have been a member of the Mayfly Association. Had I known this, I would have come to the hotel earlier for a meeting with him. If everything is impermanent, what a pity. Oh, Interpreter Richter, did you not come with the other people from Yinjin Trading Company? I teach classes at Shusha University during the day. I didn't get here until around 5 p.m. After arriving, I wanted to meet with Boss Shan. But Manager Duan said Boss Shan was resting, so I waited in the lobby so as not to bother him. You were waiting in the lobby until the banquet started? Vin nods to confirm, but doesn't say anything else. You stare into his eyes, looking for any sliver of a clue. But he just smiles, as if your suspicions are the product of your own delusions. Interpreter Richter is not a Jujia local, just like me. He's curious about the Mayfly Association and only got to the hotel at 5 p.m. Everything is in perfect order, and nothing seems particularly suspicious. That strange feeling just now, was it just me being paranoid? Interpreter Richter, when you were on Yingjing Street, you seemed to be staring at that charity event poster. No, I was just feeling sentimental. You were planning on asking him if he discovered any clues on the poster. However, his answer is different from what you were expecting. Sentimental? Did this have something to do with the poster? Yes, even if the Mayfly Association is an organization that believes in helping ordinary civilians, what Boshan is doing is nothing more than just buying kind compliments with money. Even though he mentions Boshan, his response to the Mayfly Association, which he has been very curious about. Interpreter Richter, are you saying that Boshan's charity event seems illogical? How should I put this? If all you are doing is giving money to save an ordinary person, does that count as really helping them? Or would continuous donations to charity organizations or places like the Relief Hospital really count as truly saving someone? Did he ever go out of his way to check if the people that came to request assistance really needed the help? Oftentimes, people believe that they are doing charity, but in reality, it is merely a way to comfort themselves. They are simply tending to their urge to help others. Vince's words are imbued with passion. You're unsure if he's acting or if he really feels this way. Yeah. Before you can react, Vince smiles again. So, little boss, what is your opinion on the charity event? Or rather, what do you think of the people in the Mayfly Association? Your heart skips a beat when you hear Vince's words. Subconsciously, you think he may have already figured out your identity. He has a genuine smile on his face as you gaze into his eyes. He seems to be sincerely waiting for your reply. I've only just arrived in Shusha Town. I really don't know much about the Mayfly Association or the Jianjing Gang. But if I had to form an opinion, I would say that whatever the case, I think Boss Chuan must have had good intentions for hosting the charity event. That is true. To be honest, I do not have the right to be commenting on the incident either. Huh? I am actually a member of the Yijing Trading Company. I helped with the preparations before the charity event took place, so no matter how I try to explain myself, in reality, I am also one of the people that have received discomfort. So you help out with the event? Yes, a portion of the charity events project is to raise funds for donations to the sick children at the Ranhui Relief Hospital. Most of the businessmen from outside of Yushu town open shops in Yinjing Street. So Boss Chuan asked me to make preparations for any possible questions they might ask. Although I do not know if the preparations even came in handy. After hearing Vin talks about the charity event, questions and suspicions begin to gather in your mind. The Relief Hospital. What he's trying to say is, although Boss Chuan's charity event was hosted in Yinji Street, Ranhui Relief Hospital was actually also one of the beneficiaries. You look up and stare at Vin, only to find a kind smile in his golden eyes. Is it just you, or is he actually trying to take the opportunity to send you some kind of message? Consultant Wing, how's the wound on your finger? Shouldn't you get it wrapped? It doesn't bother me. I got cut by a sharp instrument when I was confirming the dishes for the birthday banquet with the chef in the back kitchen out this afternoon. I've already disinfected. Thank you for your concern, little boss. Artem's tone is calm and his eyes betray nothing. But you are able to pick up some anomalies in his calmness. You went to confirm the dishes in the back kitchen? Isn't it Manager Duan responsible for the banquet preparations? I had nothing urgent to do after my conversation with Boss Chuan this afternoon. Manager Duan seemed frantic with the preparations. I was worried he might overlook something and offered to help. Working in the same company, it's natural to help your colleagues. Or did you think that I was cut by the ring blade you found under the sofa? You subconsciously look to Artem. The expression on his face is nothing special, but you are puzzled by how calm he is. You have to admit, you had your doubts when you noticed the wound on Consultant Wing's finger and the somewhat unusual look in his eyes. But you don't know what to say when he asks you something like this so directly. I just thought that your expression got a little heavy when you saw that ring bleed. So I thought I'd ask. Shaking his head, Arthur meets your eyes with a calmer smile in them. Little boss, you're quite sharp. At the time, my heart was indeed heavy. I was wondering if the Jianjing gang left that weapon behind. If so, what was Boss Chuan's relationship with the Jianjing gang? Are you the expression that the Yinxing Trading Company never crossed paths with the Jianjing Gang? I've never heard of such a thing ever since I returned from abroad 2 years ago and became a financial consultant for Yinxing Trading Company. The power structure of the Jianjing Gang is extremely complicated, and they engage in shady dealings. If they set their eyes on Boss John, then it probably wasn't personal. If there were some disputes over interest involved, it would be difficult for Yinxing Trading Company in the future. There is a tinge of worry in his tone, as if he is really thinking about the future of the Yinxing Trading Company. Don't worry, maybe it was just a misunderstanding on Manager Duan's part. The murderer might have used a weapon that's favored by the Jianjing Gang. Autumn nods in agreement. Yes, there's nothing special about the ring blade. Anyone with the means to purchase one can use it. Not long ago, I saw members of the Guangjie Union carrying something similar for self-defense. He places heavy emphasis on Guangjie Union. The Guangjie Union? Why did he suddenly bring up the Guangjie Union? Is he trying to tell me something? Or... Yes, the Guangjie Union has been operating in the town for decades, and there are frauds to be reckoned with. If Boss John offended someone in the Guangjie Union, the situation is much more complicated than we originally thought. The last two things Arthur said felt too deliberate. Thinking about it, his tone feels more like he is testing you. Is he telling me to be conscious of the Guangjie Union, or is he trying to muddy the waters? You are somewhat confused as to what his motives are. Every word that comes out of Consultant Wing's mouth is airtight, just like his personal style of conduct, but it makes your imagination run wild. So you put away the idea of probing the topic any further and end the conversation. Consultant Wing, you seem concerned with news of the Jianjing Gang. Before on Yinxing Street, when the delinquent mentioned the Jianjing Gang, you didn't look so good. Artem gently sighs, but a faint smile can be seen in his eyes. It seems that your question is a form of affirmation for him. I just never thought that the Jianjing Gang would have expanded so drastically. It is news to me. If those people continue to cause trouble in the streets, they will affect the lives of ordinary people. I wonder if the police have caught on to this. Even if the police knew about it, their hands are tied when it comes to usual town. Why? The Jianjing Gang is nothing but a bunch of pitiful people that are being taken advantage of. The support they have behind them is why they are so bold. As for the person backing them, I don't think the usual town police department has enough evidence to dare to make something happen. His words are loaded. It's as if he's trying to lead you into forming some kind of idea. The person backing them, that's such a broad concept. Many positions would qualify as connection to these misfits, although you do have some theories of your own. Do you know something, Consultant Wing? I've witnessed too many tragedies over these past couple of years. There are either shops whose vendors suddenly stop providing them with goods, or ones that are repeatedly harassed by the Jianjing Gang. They all eventually close down, declare bankruptcy, and end up selling the shop to another person. After the cycle continues a few times, ownership of the shops always ends up in the hands of the profiteers. Consultant Wing does not directly answer your question. Instead, he changes the topic. The profiteers, shops that have changed hands. So is he saying that nothing is as simple as it seems? Or is he trying to say that the incident that happened at the charity event was also perpetrated by people who believed they could profit from it? Cornelis Spears, benefactor. Cornelis Spears was an orphan. Thanks to Boschian's funding, he was able to complete his education and joins a new agency. Due to this, Boschian could be considered Cornelis Spears' benefactor. Second intel at the event venue. On the morning of the incident, Boschian was hosting charity events on Yingjing Street. Cornelis Spears was there taking picture. Intel 3 colleague investigation block. Cornelis Spears had a colleague who tried to investigate the cause of the conflict between the President von Hagen and Boschian. However, the investigation was stopped halfway and its contents were sealed up. Consultant Wing. Good conversation. Intel 1. Boschian met with Consultant Wing at 2 p.m. in the lobby for a meeting over afternoon tea. The two talked about the economic situation until 3 p.m. Second intel, wound on hand. Consultant Wing has a narrow cut on his finger. Intel 3 returned from studying abroad. Consultant Wing had been studying abroad until he returned to Yuzhua Town 2 years ago to become a financial consultant for Yingjing Trading Company. Interpreter Richter, Intel 1 Day Classes. Interpreter Richter teaches classes during the day at Yuzhua Town. He arrived at the hotel around 5 p.m. and waited in the lobby for the birthday banquet to begin. President von Hagen, Intel 1, all grievances. Decades ago, Boschian came up with a scheme to trick President von Hagen's father, forcing him to use the von Hagen ancestral home as collateral. Therefore, President von Hagen has a personal grudge against Boschian. Boschian, Intel 1, information about that. Boschian was found dead at 5:30 p.m. in his room at Lee Hotel. There were multiple bruises on his body, including bruises on the back of his head, cuts on his neck, and scratches on his wrist. He died of a laceration across his throat. Intel 2 patron of the Relief Hospital. Boschian was one of the Relief Hospital patrons, donating funds and goods all year round. Sometimes he would even visit the children. Every year, a charity event is held near Yingjing Street, providing free food and drinks as well as free doctor consultations. Intel 3 donated house. Boschian was ready to announce the bank donation of a house to the Relief Hospital at his birthday banquet. Intel 5 likes to drink sweet lotus soup. Boschian believed that sweet lotus soup could prolong life, so he had a habit of drinking a bowl of it every day at 4 p.m. Intel 10 Solace. Interpretive story implies that Boschian only did charity to satisfy his selfish desire, not out of the goodness of his art. Intel 11 early arrival. Boschian arrived at the hotel at 1 p.m., then met with Consultant Wing at 2 p.m. in the lobby for a meeting over afternoon tea. The two talked about the economic situation until 3 p.m. At 3:30 p.m., the head chef of the hotel served Boschian a bowl of sweet lotus soup. Intel 12 charity event. Boschian held a charity event on Union Street that morning. At the event, Boschian first delivered a speech, then gave everyone who attended items to pass the winter. The whole event ended up by noon. Until 13 left hallway. During the charity event, Boschian left the event for a while. He spoke a few words to someone in an alley, then returned to the event. Land deed. A complete deed outlining the transfer of the house. Intel 1. Ancestral land deed. This is the von Hagen family ancestral land deed. President von Hagen believes Boschian defrauded his father with illegal means to get the land deed many years ago. As such, he is afraid of Boschian. A complete deed of transfer of house stuck into a file bag. Ring blade. A ring with a silver sheen, traces of blood can be found on the surface. Intel 1 murder weapon. Appears to be the weapon that murdered Boss John. Intel 2 Jianjing gang loves to use. A weapon favored by the Jianjing gang. Intel 3 for Guangjie Union use. A ring blade isn't something special. Anyone with the means to purchase it can use it. For example, members of the Guangjie Union carry something similar for self-defense. A ring with silver sheen. Traces of blood can be found on the surface. Damaged watch. A watch belonging to Boss John. A watch worn by Boss John. The dial was smashed by a sharp instrument, apparently damaging it beyond repair. Warning letter. A warning letter in Boss John's possession. Internal warning. Written by members of the Mayfly Association to other members. A warning letter in Boss John's possession. Room key. A room key to a luxury suite in the Lee Hotel found at the crime scene. Intel 1 in Boss Chan's possession. Kept in Boss Chan's possession. A room key to a luxury suite in the Lee Hotel found at the crime scene. Hotel investigation report. An investigation report related to the Lee Hotel found within a file bag in the drawer of the luxury suite booked by Boss Chan. Intel 1. All matters. Looks like Boss Chan paid someone to investigate. The scope of the investigation includes the Lee Hotel designs, the completion time, the number of rooms, employees, file, and other details. It seems Boss Chan was particularly interested in Lee Hotel. Mysterious letter. Mysterious letter. Intel 1 collection task. Bosley tasked the boss with finding the 8 items around Shishuaton that could unlock the secret of Lee Hotel. Little boss, glad to hear from you. If you are reading this letter, it means that you are ready to carry out this secret mission. I wanted to tell you about this in person, but something came up and I can't leave Jushuaton for a while, so I had to do this. I left an important secret at the Lee Hotel and it is your mission to find it, keep it hidden and use it when necessary. There are many forces and ears in Jushuaton. Out of precaution, I have divided the key to the secret into 8 parts, which are given to trusted people or hidden somewhere. I'm sure you'll be able to follow the clues I've left behind, find them all, and solve the mystery. If you have time, look for Supervisor Xiao at the Lee Hotel on Jinxun Street. He will explain it to you in detail. Time is of the essence, so I'll leave it at that. Hope everything goes well. Sincerely, Lee. Mayfly Association, a small organization created by the people of Jujuatong. Intel for internal crisis. According to the internal letters, there seems to be a crisis of confidence within the Mayfly Association. The Mayfly Association is now meaning sending mayflies to heaven and earth only a drop in the sea, a small organization created by the people of Jujuatown. Nobody knows the origins of the Mayfly Association. By the time people realized it existed, it was already an established organization in Jujuatown. Tianjin Gang, an organization of delinquents, Intel 1 disturbance for profit. Normal small businesses rely on big businesses to shelter them from harassment from the Tianjin Gang. However, the people from big businesses threatens the power of the Tianjin Gang who cause disturbance in profit. Jujuatown. Intel 1 intricacy. The power struggle in Jujuatown is so complex that the police cannot even intervene. For example, the rapid expansion of the Jianjing gang or the sudden halt in the operation of a profitable shop as it changes hands several times. Xian's room. Intel 1 locked room murder. The door and windows have been locked from the inside with the only key lying beside Boss Chan. The spare key is in the hands of the hotel employees or relevant personnel when preparing for the birthday banquet on the first floor. It seems this has turned into a lockroom murder. Intel too cluttered. Someone had told the police, leaving it a mess. There are also signs of struggle. Intel 3 bloody phonograph. The phonograph used for decoration had been moved, and the bottom was clearly stained with blood, as if it had been used to smash something. Intel 4 crime scene. Boston's body fell near the sofa, evident by the blood pooling there and on the carpet. Yingjin Street, the most flourishing central business district in Zhujiatown, until one charity evacuation. On the morning of the incident, Boston attended a charity event on Yingjin Street and distributed items such as food and winter clothing to those in need. The lively event was held in front of a department store in Yingjin Street, and onlookers praised the good deeds of Boston. Intel 2 Mayfly Association's bar. A Mayfly Association logo was found in an alley near a department store hosting a charity event. There are signs of a struggle on the deceased's body, which implies the deceased didn't have a close relationship with the killer. The deceased had Mayfly Association internal documents which had included the publication of a gathering. It's possible that the deceased may have been in contact with the Mayfly Association. The neck wound on the deceased's body is deep, with large amount of blood nearby. The killer must have used a sharp instrument. The deceased was part of a secret organization and knew too much. To prevent leaks, he was silenced. The forces of power in usual are complicated. A ring blade appeared at the crime scene, so there may be other forces in play. The deceased hosted charitable events, but they were questionable. It's highly possible that he was conducting other matters under the guise of charity. President von Hagen and the deceased argued over ancestral land deed, and a dispute is very likely. The deceased was associated with the other forces. It's possible that the conflicting forces in Zhujiatown led to his death. All the puzzles have been solved. According to the procedure, you need to tell us about the case. Yes, it didn't take you long to find the relevant information. You have done well. Technically, I do need to summarize the key points right now. However, I'm electing to use a small privilege only available to the mysterious person. I want to add an extra test to the procedure. Another test? Yes, the truth is not so easily obtained. I guess I'll have to do this on everyone's behalf. Hey one, now tell me about the case. Yeah, Mr. TV, admit you lose. I'm a mysterious person with professional ethics. I'll obviously stick to my word. Listen up. Please. Allow me to summarize what has happened so far. The deceased is Boss John, a shareholder of the Yinjing Trading Company as well as a famous philanthropist in Zhuzhou. On his 50th birthday, he was found dead in the second-floor guest room at the Lee Hotel. After preliminary investigations, traces of a struggle were discovered on the deceased body. The cause of death is a laceration to the neck. That's right, we know all of that. Do you have anything else for us? Hold your horses, I'm not done yet. If it is very likely that the deceased is a member of the Mayfly Association, he might have had disagreements with people like the Jianjing gang when he was still alive. Just a friendly reminder, the chances of other forces seeking revenge are also possible. Can you be more precise and to the point? Yes, a lot of what you said can be interpreted in multiple ways and can't be used as a solid reference. The accuracy of my message and what is included in my message both correlates with your investigation. If this part is all you investigated, then this is the only part that I can tell you. The way this guy speaks infuriates me. Why don't we give the television a few smacks? Maybe it will fix everything. Stop! Say no to violence! I'm just a lowly but hardworking mysterious person that's going along with the performance. So, although you are here to summarize the case for us, you are unable to tell us every single detail, is that right? Of course, if I tell you everything, then what's the point of your continuing with the case? I might as well just tell you who did it. I suppose he's right. Anyway, I've told you everything that has to do with the deceased personally. As for the other people who are connected to the case, they have to stay in the Lee Hotel to cooperate with the police until the case is solved. They are allowed to leave the hotel if required, but they are forbidden from leaving Zhuzhou town. Okay, understood. What's on your mind, little boss? Nothing, I'm just thinking about the case. Judging by the little boss expression, I feel like you will be able to find the truth in no time. I truly hope that there will be more progress in the case the next time we met. I hope so. Secret house. After you all arrive back at Uncle Lee's house, you take out the model piece again. You mull over what Uncle Lee wrote in his letter, thinking about how to connect the clues it contains with the family heirloom to make sense of everything. It looks like this model fragment is one of the 8 pieces of the key that Uncle Lee mentioned. But what should I say? Should I think of a way to tell them the key was broken into 8 pieces? Geez, each lie just leads to another. As you are deep in thought, the other 4 pass around the model piece before it is returned to you. Just then, Marius widens his eyes and he looks at you with a surprised expression. Little boss, please don't tell me that this model is your family heirloom. No. A model for a family heirloom, that doesn't sound right. Without waiting for an explanation, Luke's answer for you. If it's not an heirloom, then it should be a clue that Boss Lee left for the little boss. A clue? Yeah, with the pieces that we have, we can be certain of one thing. The complete model was split into different pieces. And there's only one reason why Bosley would go through so much trouble to hide these pieces. He must have placed important clues regarding the family heirloom in the model. We have to collect the pieces and complete the model to uncover its mystery. Yeah, you got it. I agree with journalist Spears and interpreter Richter. With Luke and the others finishing your previous thought, you are happy to nod along. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Seeing you all in agreement, Maris also nods. Well, isn't our objective clear then? Follow the clues to find the pieces, then put them together to form a complete model. Yes, that's our objective. We already have the first piece, so we just follow the clues to the second piece. The letter that Bosley left the little boss directed us to find Supervisor Shaw before leading us here to investigate. It is not difficult to see that the clues left behind by Bosley are linear. Just now, we were interrupted by an unexpected situation and forced to leave the room. I believe that the clue to the second piece should be in there. Interpreter Richter has a point. After some discussion, the group decides to search through the parts of the house that were left untouched. A bit of searching around reveals a clue in a vase on a low table in the living room. Just like before, inside the vase is a cyan bamboo container with a short note that reads, Dongli Tea House. It seems that is your next destination. Dongli Tea House entrance. Dongli Tea House is located in the most antique part of Yijing Street. It is already evening by the time you all arrive there. Lanterns hang high above the entrance, and the tea house interior is illuminated by extravagant lights. This place is very different from the other places on Yijing Street. After parking nearby, attendants in Changshan welcome you all inside. Dongli Tea House. The tea house interior has an antique vibe with simple and elegant flair. It seems business is good given how the place is bustling with guests. An attendant shows you all to a central area where everyone takes their seats. After a while, a middle-aged man dressed in simple attire walks over. He is smiling from ear to ear. Oh my, what a rare guest we have today. I apologize for not welcoming such esteemed guests earlier. Do you know us? Surely you jest, President Von Hagen. There's no one in Zhuzhou town that doesn't know the association president. I have been operating this tea house in Zhuzhou for many years, so it's natural that I know of journalist Spears, consultant Win, and interpreter Richter. But the person next to you is a new face. You must be the little boss who just recently took over the Lee Hotel. In a few words, Mr. Shen showcases the extent of his intelligence network. Mr. Shen, you are well informed. It's a tea house after all. People come and go, so word travels fast. From now on, the little boss will take over Bosley, meaning I will rely on you for business. Mr. Shen looks at you, his eyes full of flattery, which makes you uncomfortable. Yes, if the opportunity presents itself. But we have not been served tea since we entered. Mr. Shen, that is no way to treat your guests, am I right? Interpreter Richter is absolutely right. It is an oversight on my part. My deepest apologies. I will ask the attendants to brew the finest Yunnan black tea. Please take a seat and it will be served shortly. With that, Mr. Shen apologizes by bowing slightly. He looks sincere. After Mr. Shen leaves, everyone in the group looks around at the other guests and begins to discuss quietly. People from all walks of life come and go here. It doesn't seem to be a good hiding place. Did Bosley entrust Mr. Shen with the important item like before? According to the rumors, Bosley is kind, calm, and cautious when making friends. It's true Mr. Shen had business dealing with Bosley, but I don't believe they had a deep friendship. I don't think Uncle Lee would make friends with someone like that. Where do we start? There's no way we're going to sit here drinking tea all night, right? Remain calm. When Mr. Shen serves us tea, we can start probing. Yeah, I think that's all we can do for now. Shortly after, Mr. Shen arrives with tea as well as many exquisite pastries. He places the pastries on the table before serving the well-brewed tea to everyone. The faint fragrance of tea mingles with the refreshing scent of the pastries wafting directly to the tip of your nose. That's a feast for the nose. Indeed, this is the most famous tea we offer at the tea house. It pairs with our pastries perfectly. Bosley was also very fond of this tea. Little boss, please have a taste. At Mr. Shen's suggestion, you take a sip of your tea. Yeah, that's quite lovely. Mr. Shen, did Uncle Lee come here frequently? No, not frequently. Maybe a few times a month. He would sometimes discuss business with me. Did Uncle Lee come alone, or perhaps he met someone here? No, Bosley preferred to drink tea alone. Hold on, little boss, why are you asking so many questions about Bosley? Are you looking for someone? At this point, Mr. Shen seems to light up, his face filled with anticipation at the potential gossip. No, I was just curious. Just then, Juicy Luke winks at you. Artem, who is sitting next to him, speaks up. It's good tea, but we have other matters to attend to. Thank you for your kindness, Mr. Shen. You guys are leaving already? Then this tea... Rest assured, Mr. Shen, we'll be right back to pay for the tea. Before Mr. Shen can say anything, the four of them detour toward the entrance. Huh? What happened? Why are we leaving so suddenly? When you were speaking with Mr. Shen just now, we were watching the other guests for their reactions. A guest at a table next to ours left in a hurry when he heard you mention Bosley. Dongli Tea House entrance. He went that way. Luke is ahead of the group, pointing in a direction where you see a young man leaving in a hurry. The man seems to have heard your voices and walked faster. Let's follow him. It doesn't take long for you all to corner the man who is thin and looks weak-kneed. Before you can even start to interrogate him, he shakes his head nervously. I don't know anything. Please don't ask me anything. People who say that often have plenty to share. First things first, why did you run? I didn't run. I have something urgent to take care of. What kind of urgent matters? Well, That's a private matter. Why should I tell you guys? The man, knowing that he could not say why, quickly came up with an excuse. Do you know Bosley of the Lee Hotel? No, I don't know him. What in the world are you insinuating? Hearing this, the man immediately raises the volume of his voice, his expression growing even more nervous. If you don't know Bosley, why did you leave when you heard us discussing Bosley at the tea house? Don't worry, we're not bad people. I just want to ask you about Uncle Lee. As you probably heard, I am a relative of Uncle Lee and I came to take over the Lee Hotel. If Bosley entrusted you with something important, I have the right to know, don't I? Hearing this, the man's reason seems to return. He doesn't speak for a long time, then finally takes a long deep breath. Fine, let's go somewhere where there aren't so many prying ears. I'll tell you guys what I know. Dongli Tea House Private Room. You bring the man back to Dongli Tea House. Upon seeing you all return, Mr. Shen is attentive and welcoming. At your request, Mr. Shen prepares a private room with good soundproofing. At the same time, you learn that the man's name is Lu Sheng, a scholar sponsored by Bosley. This place is quite quiet and secluded enough. I think it's time for you to explain yourself. Yeah, why did you run when you heard that I was the little boss? Hearing this, Lucian lets out an embarrassed laugh. I was too nervous and afraid. Afraid we won't bite? No, that's not what I meant. I may be overreacting, but in the time I've been waiting for you guys at the tea house, it felt like I was being watched. Hearing Lucian see that you all exchange glances with each other, thinking of the person from before who tried to steal the model pieces. But so far, there haven't been any accidents. Lucian may indeed be overreacting. I'm a timid person and I haven't seen much of the world. Look at you guys, a president, a reporter, and Mr. Shen was so welcoming to you guys that it scared me. I wanted to strike up a conversation with the little boss, but my mind went blank, and it seems he really wasn't of sound mind back then. Despite saying this, Lucian clutches his hand in frustration. Bosley was good to me and supported me financially through school for several years. I was always grateful to him. So when he came to me for help, I wanted to make sure I did what he asked. But when I saw you guys today, I was still unable to gather my courage. It's fine, it all worked out in the end. It was just a bump in the road. With the misunderstanding cleared up, you do not need to blame yourself. Whatever Bosley asked you to do, he did it out of trust. He believed that you could do it. Thank you, guys. Lucian's expression seems to relax after hearing everyone's consoling words. Then he carefully takes out something out of the inside pocket of his jacket and hands it to you. So, little boss, this is what Bosley asked me to give you. I don't know what it is, but I kept it safe and never told anyone about it. Okay. In Lucian's hand is the second model piece. You nod at him as you put it in your purse. Did Uncle Lee ask you to do anything else? Let me think. Oh right, Bosley also said you could visit the Hongshan Dance Hall when you have time. There are several great singers there. Hongshan Dance Hall, singers? Okay, I got it. Thank you. Don't mention it. At this moment, a smile of relief appears on Lucian's face as his task is complete. Now that I've given that to you, I can finally get a good night's rest. By the way, little boss, Bosley said he needed to go on a business trip for a while, which is why he asked me to give this to you. When is Bosley coming back? I want to invite him to join my book club. You look at the rest of the group, who seems just as surprised as you are. It seems Uncle Lee didn't tell Lucian the truth, and Lucian knows nothing of Uncle Lee's disappearance. In that case, you don't want to ruin his white lie. It might take a while, but Uncle Lee will be back. Okay. You all then enjoy the black tea with Lucian and exchange a few pleasantries. After that, you bid farewell to Mr. Shen and leave the tea house. Dongli Tea House entrance. After saying goodbye to Lucian at the entrance, you start discussing the piece again. It's great that we were able to find the second piece so soon. It went quite well this time, no surprises. Yes, and the clue to our next destination was clear, Hongshan Dance Hall. But it is getting late. How about we rest up at the Lee Hotel and figure out our plan later? Yeah, I'm beat. You all nod in agreement, so everyone drives toward the Lee Hotel under the cover of night.